What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Fantasy Endgame. We're here to break down tonight's first matchup of Week 5, answer your start-sit questions. Maybe you got some that you're still not sure about before this game because there are some players like Justin Fields that we just don't know what to expect, and then help you with your weekend decisions. Also, trade questions. You know we love them. A lot of trades going down midweek. I know I've been fielding a lot of trade questions just today on my leagues. And then if you have anything else, waiver wire, you want us to grade your team, give you some hope, whatever it is, we're here for it, here to help you. That is our end game. So we're going to get to all the comments and questions that we possibly can manage to do before kickoff. We're not going to eat into your game watching time because we know that's valuable. We want to see the game too. But Chris, let's start with tonight's matchup. Your Commanders, I think I could say that. You claim them. You can kind of claim them, right? They're okay this year. Bears, not so okay. Not really. We got a lot of Justin Fields questions Monday and Tuesday. But now it's like this is it. This is crunch time. If you have Fields, you got to decide what to do. You can't wait and see and how you're going to feel over the weekend. If you have Justin Fields, and assuming, of course, you don't have somebody who's just clearly better, right? Like Tua or something. What are you doing with Justin Fields against the Commanders?
I think for the most part, you're rolling them out. I mean, I'm still very concerned because A, it was the Broncos, and B, it wasn't like I'd probably feel a lot better about Fields if he had ran for 100 yards and a touchdown and didn't throw for so much. And I know that's probably going to sound weird to a lot of people, but like I have doubts that he can throw like that again against the Commanders. So I would have felt better if he was like running all over the field like we saw last year. I'd be like, okay, at least that part of the game is there. Like, so you can feel like, okay, at least he won't, potentially kill me. So, but I think like this is not a good week. Like the streaming options I really like this week, like Sam Howell, Josh Dobbs, like am I really starting those guys over Justin Fields? No, it's not. It's not like a good week, for streaming quarterbacks. Like so I think if you got Fields, you're probably mostly rolling with Fields.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When I said my favorite streaming option, realistic streaming option, for most people is Dobbs this week. And it's not like Josh Dobbs has been crushing fantasy, and it's not like he has this massive ceiling, and it's not like it's such a great matchup. It's a good matchup because Bengals defense hasn't been great this year. But it's just because he's kind of the best that's out there, and he's solid. He'll get you points, and he does have some rushing ability, and he's been running, could get touchdowns. So he's solid. There's so many quarterbacks that you can't say that about, once you get past that first couple of tiers, really. And we got buys, of course. So it's rough out there. If you're streaming quarterback, that's one thing we did say. You want to get your stud quarterback. That's pretty much the way to go these days. It's streaming quarterback isn't what it used to be. You remember a couple of years ago, it was like, that was it. You don't need to draft a quarterback high. You're wasting your pick. Just go out and pick your matchups. You can't really do that anymore. If your options are like Jimmy Garoppolo, Daniel Jones, it's like, that's hurting you. And then you look at guys like Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, and guys putting up huge point totals every week. So it is funny, but I agree. If Fields was running for a bunch, I would feel better. But at least he did have a big passing game. But it was Denver. So I would say, look, for the most part, unless you have Anthony Richardson tucked away or somebody who definitely has a higher ceiling, I think you can feel okay with Fields this week. Now, I also want to ask about this because I heard a little bit today with Joe Burrow. You should also be worried. Some people saying that, ready to move on. It's not there. T. Higgins is gone for at least a short time. But then Burrow saying he's felt better than he has all year. And, it's the mobility that's been impacting him. He can't escape the pocket, whatever. That's not really his game anyways. But last week should have been it for Burrow against Tennessee. Why would we start him this week?
I mean, I think you're just betting on the talent. Like, do we really think he's going to be this bad all year? Like, Joe Burrow just suddenly forgot how to play football. Like, the calf injury is so bad he can't even throw a football anymore. Like, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No, like I'm being serious. This isn't a guy like
Oh, I know.
this isn't a guy who like has never done it before. It's not like if Baker Mayfield, who's actually been like kind of good this year, threw 10 interceptions over the next 2 games, I'd be like, yeah, you don't even have like Baker Mayfield should be on every waiver wire. Like, I like not even surprised. Like, not surprised. Like, yeah, like you got lucky in the first, like you played him a couple times and he somehow magically did something, but the run is over. Like, the run is over for Baker Mayfield. This is Joe Burrow. This is like, you're just betting. Like, if you have a really good option, sure. But again, like, this is not a week where I'm looking. Like last week, there were like a lot of guys I liked as streaming options in good spots. This week, it's like, who are you really start? Like, are you starting Sam Howell over Joe Burrow? I don't think I can do it. Are you starting Josh Dobbs over Joe Burrow? I don't think I can do it. Are you starting? I don't even Jared Goff over Joe Burrow. I don't know, because it's not like Jared Goff's in a smash spot either. Like, so I don't know. You're just, I think you're betting on two things. You're betting on A, the talent here, and B, that like it's now week 5 and he's probably healthier and he's going to continue to get healthier. And like, yeah, it's like, like, who do you have that's better? Like, who do you have that you feel better about that also doesn't contain extreme risk? Like, you can say like, well, yeah, I like Sam Howell better, but don't try to say Sam Howell couldn't also just completely fall on his face tonight and give you nothing.
Even against the Bears, exactly. So, yeah, well, I said two things. First of all, it's a calf injury, like you said. I mean, it's not like that's really hurting his ability to run, because that has nothing to do with his
Right.
ability in fantasy. That's not his game. And I feel like it's a little bit of a cop out, like an excuse here. He's like, oh, I escape in the pocket. Like, come on, what he's been bad in. I think he's ranked somehow 34th, even though there's only 32 teams. But even with the guys who've come in, he's like 34th in like average, depth of target here. And then his completion percentage, his accuracy, they're all like worse than the league. Can we blame the calf for that? I don't think so. I mean, only a little bit. There's other things. It's not just the calf. It's missing, most of the preseason and some rust, and I don't know. But I think he will get better. I don't think it's going to be this week. I'll just say that, because he's missing T. Higgins now. Don't expect him to play or play much. So I think he'll be okay, but I would say I'm going to wait a week. And then if I'm for some reason either hurting a QB or, something's up and I'm looking for upgrade, then I might start trying to buy low. Look, I was trying to buy low a little bit on Trevor Lawrence this week. I got him in one league. I think he will definitely get better. And there's some, analytics to support that. I think Burrow is still going to be a buy low candidate after this week. So I'm not giving up, but I still don't love him this week. And then speaking of Trevor Lawrence, quick prediction for this week. Is he a guy that you want to start? Buffalo?
I mean, I'm not like, not excited to start him. I mean, I don't know if you call this on the. I guess maybe it's technically a road game for Jacksonville, but it's probably more like a home game for Jacksonville, because they play in London every year and they just stay there. I guess I don't really understand. Like, I guess the NFL is trying to make Jacksonville London's team. I don't know, like how long before Jacksonville just relocates to London?
Maybe
How
that's
many
the
years?
plan here.
Yeah. But it's the Bills. I mean, like, I'm not outright benching Trevor Lawrence, because there's not like a ton of quarterbacks that I just feel great about this week. But look, they just did a great job against the Dolphins. So, and they're might be getting Von Miller back this week. So, I'm still mostly starting Trevor Lawrence, because like I'm not going to put Sam Howell in. I'm not going to put these guys in. Like, yeah, they have good matchups, but they're Sam Howell and Josh Dobbs. Like, let's not forget, Josh Dobbs week 1 got you less than a point. Sam Howell has had 2 horrendous games. Like, just because it's the Bears doesn't mean Sam Howell's going to light it up. Sam Howell could throw 3 interceptions against the Bears just as easily as he could against any other team. So, like, yeah, I'm still, for the most part, starting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, obviously, Bill's defense pretty good. but they did just lose their top corner, Tre'Davious White, for the season, which is pretty rough. And I, hypothetically might feel bad for them if I like the Bills. But yeah, I think Lawrence will be fine. So also, not that you should be going out to trade 4 quarterbacks unless, again, you're really hurting, unless you made the foolish mistake of drafting like a guy like Daniel Jones or something like that as your starter. Other than that, you don't have to go get a quarterback. But just saying, there should be better times for these guys and their receivers. We got how many trade questions? People are like giving Calvin Ridley away for nothing. It's like, come on. How did we go from that to after week 1? He's going to be the overall wide receiver 1 to this. There's got to be an in between. There has to be. But you know what? Regardless of what Justin Fields does tonight at quarterback, there's one thing I do feel almost completely sure about. I'd say close to 100%. He's going to get a yard, at least 1 yard. So if you feel that way, you should take the higher on Justin Fields getting 0.5 total yards, not even just passing yards, total yards. Now, this is a new customer special. So if you haven't tried Underdog yet, and you might have suspected just from watching so far, we are very proud to be partnered with Underdog, and we use it all the time ourselves. A lot of our community is in there. We use it. We do a ton of best ball in the off season, and then during the season, pick'ems, which is even better. You get action on every single game, and this isn't just NFL, by the way. This is every sport basically that is played. So for NFL, again, if you haven't tried Underdog, if you sign up and you use our promo code, which is ENDGAME, you get that special there. You take Justin Fields higher than a yard, and then you combine it with anything else. And right there, good chance to win some money. The other thing that you should do, whether you are a new customer or if you already have an Underdog account, is take part in 100K Sunday. So you see right there, we talked about this the other day was George Kittle. Well, today it's Mark Andrews. And every day it looks like it's going to be somebody different. I think I tried it last night. It was a different player who I don't remember, but I took the pick anyways. Because it doesn't matter whether you get it right, higher, lower, whoever it is, you take that pick and add it to one other, and then you are automatically entered. 1,000 winners. 1,000 different people will win $100 this week. So not as big a prize, but a lot more people will win. It's still pretty nice to think that you have a pretty good shot to just pocket $100 for nothing, just for free, just for, chancing winning more money, which, by the way, if you do use our promo code, 100% deposit match up to $100. So again, more money. So take advantage of all of those things right now if you haven't already. All right, now it's time for us to get to our comments and questions. Bus always parked in the waiting room. The comments first. It's gonna get. Is that a Hoya or I thought it was a Halia?
Hoya? I don't know.
All right, whatever it is, you got it. We gave it to you.
Whatever that is, you got it.
All right, and then we got Samuel with the first super chat. Which, by the way, quick reminder, guys, we will answer as many comments and questions as possible. The super chat feature is there to guarantee we will put your question up on the screen and talk about it as much as needed. So you don't have to super chat, but if you want to be sure that we do answer it, that's what it's for. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex PPR, Mixon, Swift, Achane, CeeDee Lamb, Nico, Garrett Wilson.
A lot of good choices here, but I'm going Achane and Swift at running back. I'm going Lamb. I'm going the 3 wide receivers. So I'm going Achane and Swift, and then I'm going the 3 wide receivers. Two in the wide receiver slot, one in the flex.
Yeah, I guess we're just sitting one of these players. The guy with the lowest ceiling is Mixon.
Yeah.
We talked obviously just now about the Bengals, not offense. You're fine. It's fine. Mixon's been what this year? Fine.
Yeah.
He's not costing you. You're not hating that you drafted Mixon, but he's not helping you win either. He's just been okay. So we don't want okay, do we?
Not when you have these choices, you don't.
Right. All right. Then we got Adante Bourne. I have many questions about this question, but I'll let you start.
Like,
Would you drop Aaron Jones for Monty?
no, but I mean, you have to pick up Monty, but there has to be somebody on your team. I mean, look, if Montgomery's on your waiver wire, maybe not, but I have to imagine there's somebody on your team that is worse than Aaron Jones. Like, I mean, maybe not. If Montgomery's on waiver wire, maybe not. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's like, you know, 8-team league, and they only start 2 running backs, 2 wide receiver, and a flex, and they have like one bench spot or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I was thinking this must be like a 6-team league or something.
Yeah.
If Monty's just out, like what was it? The 3 touchdown performance. People were like, yeah, whatever. Like,
Yeah. I still don't want him. Still don't want to pick him up.
I mean, I don't even know how to answer this. I mean, yes, no, yes. I guess yes, but yeah, why is Monty just on waivers and why is Aaron Jones the guy you have to drop? So
Yeah, exactly.
all right, now this I also have questions about. Your name is Hop on the Pollard Express, and the question is, do I start Tony Pollard?
What? Yeah, I'm starting. I mean, yeah, I'm starting Pollard over all these guys, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Jacobs will be the one maybe I consider, but come on. It's not even if you didn't, basically anoint your team after him. It's okay if it's the 49ers. Like maybe it's not his best game, but you still go with Pollard. You still
Yeah.
go with Pollard. It's not like
Especially
Jacobs
when
has
your
been
name
lights
is
out.
Hop on the Pollard Express.
Yeah, it sounds like you're off, but yeah. You start Pollard. Bobby Brook got a 14-team league. Would you drop Pickens or London for MT?
No.
Neither
I mean,
one.
it's not like MT is lighting it up.
And then, oh boy. Okay. Bobby's got 2 more. Let's get to those before I should have done this first. Bobby Brook. Okay, so tonight, this one's a fair question. Logan Thomas or Cole Kmet?
I mean, you don't want to chase like last week's game for Cole Kmet, but at the same time, what do we really expect from Logan Thomas, even against the Bears? I mean, look, maybe he catches a touchdown, but that might be all he does, right? 1 catch for a touchdown. So give me Cole Kmet.
Yeah, it's Kmet because even though the only reason I might consider Logan Thomas is because he's going against the Bears, but just not involved enough, in Kmet. We've seen him last year too, score several touchdowns. He's a red zone threat. Go Kmet. See if he repeats. I mean, maybe he gets on a hot streak. And then the trifecta with Bobby Brook. I'm sorry. Could I get Higgins for Pickens or London?
I mean, probably not. It's not like, even if the person that has Higgins is like, I'm done with this bum, right? Like, oh, he's always hurt. He doesn't do anything. Are they really excited to get Pickens or London? Like, are they like, oh, cool, I get Pickens, or oh, cool, I get London? Like, 8% chance.
I think the chance might be better if after this week, Higgins doesn't play because he's hurt and Pickens does something.
Yes.
Right. Because right now, Pickens coming off not only a game where he didn't do much, but also all you're hearing about the Steelers is what? That their offense sucks and that Canada should be fired. And Pickett was, is terrible. So not the best time to try to trade George Pickens. So I would say maybe wait after this week and see what happens.
Yeah.
If Burrow has another bad game, if Higgins doesn't play, then the chances, go up. It depends who it is. Like, this is the thing, like me and you, even after this week, would be like, yeah, no, I'm keeping Higgins, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean the Higgins owner won't. Okay, so this one this is a natural follow-up because it's the T. Higgins question, but this makes me question even further what kind of league Adante's in. Dropped T for Nico.
So Montgomery, Nico Collins are on the bench. I like that he kept Alvin Kamara, though.
This has got to be like a 16 league or something.
It's got
maybe 8, maybe an 18 league.
I mean, I guess because at least Nico's playing this week, and obviously if guys like Nico or Montgomery are somehow still on the waiver wire, then nobody's probably running out to grab T. Higgins, I guess. I mean, I'm not dropping T. Higgins for Nico Collins again. I'm gonna say there's nobody worse on your team you could have dropped for Nico Collins.
I really don't know at this point. I would say dropping T, not the best idea. So if you can get him back, I would do that. If no one's gonna pick him up because people just don't like good players in your league, then maybe wait till after this week. So, and then between Nico and Kamara, I guess I would go Nico this week.
Yeah, definitely Nico.
Although I will say this, because you had mentioned it with AJ Terrell possibly shadowing out of all the corners, and shadowing really isn't much of a thing anymore like it used to be. But he had the highest shadow rate right last week, and he's probably the only good corner that Atlanta has. So
Yeah.
it might not be a big Nico week, but we'll see. Joe, pending trades, he's 1-3. All right, Gibbs for Hall.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, both these guys are like you're hoping for long-term potential. Look, Robert Saleh did say he's not on a pitch count anymore, but then he also followed that up by saying Dalvin Cook looks the best he's looked all year, and his GPS speeds are the highest they've seen in practice. So, these are both guys that you're hoping come around as the season goes on. So that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty even.
Yeah.
Both guys are basically, hard to imagine why Breece Hall is in timeshare, but he still is.
Yeah.
But it's funny, they took that one little snippet that somebody took that one specific phrase from his press conference about how he's not on a pitch count anymore and just blasted that. Not what followed it was like, oh, but we want to get other guys involved and we have to do what's best for the team. No, it was just like, it's going to be all Breece. That's it. No more limitations. It's like, he's not going to get the ball 30 times, guys. All right. Ridley and Stevenson for Eckler.
Yeah. Give me Eckler. Just give me Eckler. I mean, yeah. I still like Ridley and Stevenson this year, but you're taking out all the risk when you get Eckler. Give me Eckler.
Yeah, the only really potential concern for Eckler is he just gets hurt again. But
right.
Got a bye week now. He'll be healthy. Should be healthy. Yeah. I like Ridley and Stevenson both as buy low, but this is a good deal. All right, Chris, all in. Full PPR pick. 2 receivers, 2 running backs in the flex. Ridley, Lamb, Nico, Pittman, Henry, CMC, Kyren Williams, Aaron Jones, or Kamara.
Man, a lot of good choices here.
I know it's like I might want to flex one of those running backs, but then that means I'm sitting Pittman, Nico.
Yeah, I'm still going Ridley and Lamb at wide receiver. I'm going CMC at Henry at running back.
I think you got the same exact thing I'm thinking is it Pittman or is it Kyren?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I like
PPR.
Pittman this week. I think he's in for a big game, but Kyren's been getting so many touches. But Kyren does get the Eagles. Does that concern you at all, the matchup?
I mean, for sure. It's got to. Kyren, low key has been really living off touchdowns. I mean, he's had what? 6 touchdowns this year? He's had 3 big games out of 4, and then he had 1 bad game. And the 1 bad game was when he didn't score a touchdown. So it's not like he's giving you this huge, hey, he can still get you, good point. And it is the Eagles. So I'd probably go Pittman because it's PPR. Give me Pittman. I like Pittman this week. But it is really close.
Yeah, I know it's hard to bench Kyren, but
yeah,
I'm feeling a big Pittman game, so I'm going to stick with my gut. And then a defense, Eagles or Lions?
I think I'm still going Lions. They're at home. Although I don't know, are the Eagles at home or not? Or are they in LA? But even still, I mean, one thing about the Rams, especially if Kupp is back, which it sounds like he's getting closer and closer to playing, is that offense can score and they can move the ball. And the Panthers offense, I mean, maybe they get a garbage time touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, what can the Panthers offense really do? So I'm going to take the Lions.
Yeah, Eagles are on the road at
Yeah.
the SoFi. I'm going to go line. I will say this, and I kind of always make this disclaimer before answering team defense questions. It depends on your scoring because every league is different format. I can see the Lions definitely doing better in terms of limiting points as far as, low overall score. Not worried about Panthers scoring. The Rams could put up points for sure. But I do think that the Eagles a little bit more potential for sacks and turnovers. They're pretty good at that. They get a little bit more pressure. But Lions have been getting a lot of pressure this year too. So
Yeah.
just blindly picking, I'll go Lions at home against a pretty stagnant offense. What about this? Juice 420. Should I start Michael Thomas?
Sure. I mean,
I
I don't know your other options, but it's not like I'm not going to sit here and say Michael Thomas is unstartable.
All right. And then Mary Jo, the related question. Have you heard anything on Carr status to play?
I think he's had 2 limited practices. He's been throwing in practice. He's probably going to play.
I mean, he played last week. There's no reason he wouldn't play this week because he didn't take another hit to the shoulder. He didn't leave the game or anything. So almost positive Carr is playing. Haven't heard anything to indicate that he wouldn't. Juice 420 again, 14 team. Who should I plug in if Sun got now? He has missed a couple of practices, but he said something today about how he's good and everything.
Yeah.
Are you worried about him?
Not really. I mean, usually I would be, but then he said after, I think he had like something where he's like, I was running fast and doing this or something. So, but if he's out, I'd probably go Dell.
Yep.
Because again, I look at that game and I think, well, maybe if AJ Terrell is all over Nico, then it'll be a big Dell week. Just Michael Wilson, Jordan Addison, not feeling big weeks from those guys.
Say it again. You keep bringing up that Nico Collins could get shadowed by Terrell. It could be a Tank week. I mean, we've seen them alternate, and Tank might be the guy against this defense. I still like Addison long term.
Oh, yeah.
He could. And there was another stat I'm sure you saw too, something about Jordan Addison's target share when they're either even or ahead versus when they're behind, playing from behind. It's up to like 80% when they're playing from behind, and when they're ahead, that he just doesn't really get the ball. I mean, they're playing the Chiefs. If they are behind, we could see Addison do some things, but I think I'd still go Tank. Joe Castles. Watson questionable this week. Should I start Dotson tonight?
No, I feel pretty confident Watson is playing. I mean, remember, they don't play till Monday, so today is like their first practice of the week. Lots of guys are questionable on Wednesday. Like, lots of guys get in a limited practice, first practice of the week, and then they're fine the rest of the week. I'm not worried about Watson. I haven't heard anything about him like that he suffered a setback or that, he re-aggravated his hamstring or anything. So I'm still going Watson.
Yeah, not worried about Watson. Same thing what I basically said with Carr. Didn't have any big setbacks last week. Should be fine. So I'm going to go with Watson. And then do you think Addison or Godwin will finish on top?
Are we talking about this week or rest of the season?
Yeah, I kind of, when I read it, I interpreted it as like rest of season.
Yeah, because it can't be this week.
On top.
Well, it can't be this week. Godwin's not playing.
So, yeah. So who do you like? I guess
I think Addison. I think Addison will. I mean, what are we expecting from Godwin at this point? It's clear that if Mike Evans is healthy, he's Baker's guy. And Baker's having no issues chucking the ball this year. So it's just hard to see a path for Godwin having any upside this year. Like, he's going to have some games. He'll probably score a handful of touchdowns, and in those games where he happens to get one of the touchdowns, he'll be good. But give me Addison.
Yep, I'm taking Addison too. The Gaming Wolf. Good evening. Zach Ertz or Logan Thomas?
Definitely Zach Ertz. I like Zach Ertz this week.
Yeah, going Ertz too. And then mainly because of target share. T-Law or Josh Dobbs?
I'm not putting Josh Dobbs. No, not putting Josh Dobbs in over Trevor Lawrence. I'm just not doing it. Could Josh Dobbs outscore Trevor Lawrence? Sure. Could Josh Dobbs crash back down to earth this week and like basically give you your loss? Sure. Just give me T-Law.
That's true. It could happen. We think ceiling, and of course we talk upside, but floor is a consideration too. I mean, T-Law hasn't been great the last couple of weeks, but he hasn't been terrible, giving you nothing. Yeah, I'm going Lawrence. So I'd say Dobbs is one of my favorite streaming candidates this week. Streaming meaning like, oh, I had Justin Herbert, I need somebody to fill in for him, or like,
exactly.
I had Deshaun Watson, I'm not sure if he's going to play this week. Whatever.
Well, he's not,
but not over like Lawrence. Okay. Senor Royland in PPR, 2 receivers in a flex, Hill and Ayuk, and then Amon-Ra or Ridley. Now that's interesting because it's not the injury so much. Well, I guess that would be the only reason.
Yeah, if Amon-Ra's playing, he's in my lineup. He's in my lineup. Yeah. Look, I like Ridley, but I mean,
carried away.
Yeah, it's like, not getting carried away here. If Amon-Ra plays, I'm playing him.
I like Ridley this week, but not over Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple quickies here, regular chat. Eric Flores, do George Pickens and Josh Kelly have value?
I mean, Josh Kelly has none because he just had 3 games out of Eckler and did absolutely nothing. And now everybody knows Eckler is coming back. Like maybe he has like a smidge of value for the person who has Eckler, but even then, like you even if Eckler missed the season, you're not playing Josh Kelly. I hope he's been terrible. Pickens probably still has some value because of name, but it has definitely gone way down.
Yeah, Pickens definitely has value, but not a lot. Like you shouldn't be looking to trade him now because you're not going to get what you would. So Pickens, yes. Kelly, none. Like I don't think he even has handcuff value anymore because we've seen like the best case scenario for him happened and he did nothing. So what are you waiting for now?
Yeah,
no, you gotta drop Kelly. Michael wants to know Tyler Algier, Hubbard, or Tyjae Spears. This is where the real action is.
I mean, I'll say if Miles Sanders is really limited again this week at practice like he was last week, then I'd probably go Chuba Hubbard. Because at least we know the touches are there. He could score. He can catch some passes. But if Sanders, I haven't seen the practice reports. If Sanders is practicing fully and like it's like, okay, there's no issue now, then I'd probably go Spears. Because Spears does get involved. He plays on 3rd down. He catches passes. He's got some juice. So that's how I would do it.
Yeah, if it was a different matchup, which again will sound odd, but if it was worse for the Titans, meaning they might have to play from behind, I might like Spears more. Yeah, probably right now, Hubbard. And then Michael had a good point talking about the Burrow thing. He needs that mobility behind that O-line. Now, that is one of the real major issues. It's not Burrow just himself personally, but the blocking. And look, if he needs to get by on his mobility, there's going to be a problem all season long because that's not going to bail him out. All right, and I'm glad you brought this up, Bobby Brook again. Thoughts on the potential of Keaton Mitchell? Okay, so y'all know Mason from The Flock, right? And we're a partner with The Flock. And he put this out there on Twitter, and that's exactly what I was thinking. I just hadn't thought. He's like, who started this hype on Keaton Mitchell? Like, honestly, where did this come from?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe if all the running backs are hurt by the end of the season, but yeah, not doing anything with Keaton Mitchell.
My thought is that I had never given it like a second thought about Keaton Mitchell until people started asking about him this week. Right. And I guess it's because like, oh, well, all the Baltimore running backs are hurt, but now Gus Edwards isn't hurt. And they signed Kenyon Drake. And Keaton Mitchell has been hurt. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know what this comes from. He's like a special teamer.
He's not, he's barely not even 180 pounds. Like, what are people thinking he's going to be Devon Achane?
Maybe someone somewhere like compared him and people bought into that. I think honestly, I think he would be like a poor man's Deuce Vaughn. That's my take on him.
Yeah, remember how hyped people were for Deuce Vaughn in the preseason?
Yeah,
there's a reason why 175-pound running backs don't see the field much.
So that's my thought. All right, and then Kevin, 3-1, have a choice of Dotson or Samuel tonight. Which one do you like better?
I think I got to go Dotson, but don't hate me if it's Samuel, because it's like, you don't know. You really don't know. I mean, it should be Dotson. But if Samuel scores, it might be Samuel. But if I have the choice, I'm going Dotson.
Yeah, I mean, Samuel's been used, but I'm going to follow the target share. It's still with Dotson. That secondary, not too good. I think I'm going Dotson this week. Powerhouse. What about Khalil Herbert tonight?
I mean, he's like, if you're desperate, if you've got, like, I'm in a league where literally my only running back that's healthy and not on a bye is Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, I'm going to play Khalil Herbert over any running back that's on my waiver wire, but I don't expect a repeat of last week because it's not the Broncos, number one. And number two, like, look, it's Sam Howell and the Commanders. Maybe it is a close game because, it's like not like you can sit here and just be like, oh, the Commanders are going to blow them out, no problem. Like, no, don't know about that.
They're not that kind of team.
Right. So he could see the volume again, or at least decent volume, but it's not the Broncos. So I wouldn't expect, is he a good start? I don't know. He's startable.
He's startable, but I wouldn't love him. I mean, if he's a good start, depends on who else you got. So I wouldn't be rushing out to put him in my lineup, I guess, right. is the thing. Interesting. Okay, but let's get to Bobby Brook with another one. Christian Watson, limited practice, London or Pickens?
I'm going Watson. Again, I'm not worried about Christian Watson. Like, I mean, even if they told me he was going to be limited, I still might play him over these guys, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's the Raiders and he's got Jordan Love. So even a limited Christian Watson, I'll still play over these guys.
Because how great can you feel about Drake London this week or ever? And then Pickens, same thing. I mean, I love Pickens, but I don't love this offense. And now Kenny Pickett is back there with half a leg. Who knows? I mean, yeah. I'll go Watson. And look, if he's limited in practice, it's probably more precautionary just to make sure that he doesn't get hurt again. So I'm not too worried about that specifically. This is hard to answer, but Chris, all in, drop Dak.
Why? For who?
I don't know.
Like, look, if Dak is your second quarterback, like if you have one of those stud quarterbacks, we see this a lot, right? People have like Lamar and Tua, Hurts and Richardson or whatever, right? If you have, Hurts and Dak Prescott, and there's somebody good on the waiver to pick up, sure, drop Dak Prescott. I'm not like too concerned if I give another team Dak Prescott.
No, I mean, if you're set at quarterback, sure, but I mean, don't drop him just for the sake of dropping him. Yeah. And then I will say this, they said today, I think was the first time the Cowboys had all their starting offensive linemen actually practice.
Yep, I did
and,
see that.
The game script has been it's been good, but not good for fantasy for Dak Prescott. It's like he just hasn't needed to throw. So I think Dak Prescott's also, I don't even want to say buy low because you shouldn't be trading for a quarterback and you shouldn't be trading for a quarterback like Dak Prescott. But, you get my point. A positive regression candidate. That's what I was thinking. Python. What's up, Python? No team needs who you'd rather. Oh, okay. You don't have any team needs. Okay. Rest of the season, Achane or Jones?
It's got to be Achane. I mean, even if you have doubts, which, look, it's fair to have doubts. He's 180 pounds or whatever. I think he got up to did he get up to like 182 or 189? I don't know. Whatever. He's undersized, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you have your doubts, like, hey, I don't know if he can do this all season. Look, he's not going to do this all season. Like, he would literally break every record, right? It would be like he'd break Devon.
It's changed every week. It's
he would hold Achane. Yeah, exactly. It changes every week. Next week he'll be like, "Hey guys, this is how you pronounce my name."
Yeah.
He would literally hold like almost every running back season record. Like, do we really think that's happening? But still, what are we expecting from Aaron Jones? I said it in the draft process. People were like, "Aaron Jones is such a good value." I'm like, okay, he's fine. Aaron Jones is fine. Like, you want to take him in the 5th round or whatever, he's fine. But he's not like. So give me Achane, because at least he has the potential to be like a league winner, and Aaron Jones just won't, just doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, Jones gives you weekly upside when he's playing. Achan gives you massive weekly upside when
Yeah,
he's playing. And their role is pretty similar, right? Not like Jones is a bell cow
no.
anymore. So, yeah, it's got to be Achan. Yeah, let's watch. He's going to end the season averaging 20 yards per carry. That's what he's going to do.
What's
Joe
the
is,
record? What's the record? Like 6.1 or 2? Like, he's just gonna triple it?
yeah. Well, wasn't it? It was Kamara, wasn't it? His first or second season? I think it was like 6.
Yeah, like 6. I mean,
Like 6.
obviously somebody's gonna say, "Oh, this random wide receiver who had 5 carries averaged 15 yards per carry."
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. That doesn't count. All right. Joe is too dope. Fields or Stroud?
Well, see, here I would go Stroud. This is probably one time where I would bench Fields because I feel good enough about Stroud that he's like, Stroud isn't going to kill you this week. Look, Fields might outscore Stroud, but you're not going to be like completely disappointed by what Stroud. You're not going to be like, "Oh, why did I start Stroud? Oh my gosh." So yeah, in this case, I'll go Stroud.
Yeah, we had this question very many times yesterday.
Yeah.
You're fine with Stroud. I mean, if you feel for some reason you need the higher ceiling and could shoot for the upside, you just feeling Justin Fields is going to go off. Okay, it's fine. It's not a strong either way kind of decision, but I think I would go Stroud if it was my team. And our next question right after that, Christian Rake wants to know CJ Stroud or Justin Fields. And then Craig, Wayne, Stroud or Fields. So I think the answer is the same. Now, what about this? Taif Abdullah, Fields or Jordan Love?
This is where it gets closer for me.
I do kind of like Jordan Love. I mean, you've got to like the matchup. Obviously, it's the Raiders. Got Watson back. They're going to be, kind of pissed off after last week when the Lions, handled them at their home. I feel like this could be a good Love game.
Yeah, it's cool. I do like Love. It's close.
And I do feel like Stroud Love, kind of the same guy almost. Not same guy. For fantasy, very similar. That's what I mean.
Maybe, but we know Stroud's going to throw it 40 plus times. Like, they're not just going to be like, it's not going to be the 4th quarter and they're just running out the clock. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess, yeah, they're going
Like,
to.
they're not going to be up 2 scores and just running the football in Houston. That's the difference for me. Is like, you're getting that volume of Stroud every single week.
Right.
I don't know. This one's close for me. I might go Fields, but I'm fine if you want to go with Love here.
Yeah, it's very similar. Similar if you want upside or I don't know. I could see, and Love isn't throwing for as many yards as Stroud, but he's throwing for touchdowns. And that's what I like is they're using their receivers in the red zone. And so I feel like a 3-touchdown game is very possible again for Love, but we'll see. Sal Palumbo altered that trade. Okay, so I had Zay and Lockett for James Cook and Jerry Jeudy.
See, my problem with this is, like, I'm okay trading Zay Flowers or Tyler Lockett for James Cook. Like, if you said, like, "Hey, I traded Tyler Lockett for James Cook. I really need the running back help," I'd be like, "Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a very fair deal. I like it." But I don't like trading Zay Flowers or Tyler Lockett for Jerry Jeudy. Like, that's the part I don't like. If you had just done, and look, it's not an awful trade. Maybe Jerry Jeudy will come around. I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, people keep expecting the breakout. maybe at some point, sometime in his career, he'll break out. But like, I'd rather have Zay or Lockett. So yeah. I would like to better if it was just like one of these receivers for James Cook, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, that's exactly it. One of those guys for Cook would be fine, but yeah, just not in on Judy. Haven't been in on Judy this whole season, and I don't think I'm going to be in on Judy. So, I mean, maybe at this point, maybe you can try to turn around and flip Judy to somebody else for a different receiver. Maybe buy low on a guy like Jordan Addison. I actually would like that. If you could trade Judy for Jordan Addison straight up, maybe try to do that. And then Ian Wingate needs to. Lawrence Dobbs Howell. All right, super flex or PPR.
I'm going Lawrence and Howell. I just think Howell against Chicago has a little bit more upside than Dobbs. So, and he's at home. So I'm going Lawrence and Howell.
Definitely Lawrence, and then it's floor ceiling, right? Howell higher ceiling for sure against Bears, and then Dobbs is totally safe. It seems. I like Dobbs this week. I mean, but I'm not adverse to starting Howell. I have each of these guys in some of my lineups because, again, I realized that I, for some reason, have Justin Herbert as my starting quarterback in like 90% of my leagues. So a couple of them I got Dobbs. I think one of them I'm going with Howell. It just depends what you're going for. Chris Cantu with a rookie question. Let's do a flex between Reed, Michael Wilson, or Marvin Mims, another Denver receiver.
I think I'm going Michael Wilson. You can't feel good about Marvin Mims this week against the Jets.
Right.
And Jaden Reed, like with Christian Watson back, certainly going to play more snaps than he played last week. Dobbs there. Musgrave sounding like he's trending to clear the concussion protocol. We'll see, but you can't expect like a big Reed game. Maybe he scores or something, but Michael Wilson looks like clear too. Josh Dobbs playing pretty well. I'm going Michael Wilson.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly it. Michael Wilson is clearly the number 2 receiver, number 2 target in that offense. Reed is clearly number 3 now with Watson back, and then Mims is still number 3. Mims is really just kind of that volatile deep threat. Like that's it. He'll get a deep shot or he won't. So it's all or nothing. Wilson's getting consistent targets and he's scoring touchdowns. So it's Wilson. And then Jason, welcome back, Jason Quinones. Mostert or McLaurin? It's a PPR league in the flex spot. Feeling like Mostert needs to prove himself. Like maybe he'll have some motivation, but McLaurin could feast.
Yeah, I mean, in full PPR, I'm going Terry. I'm not out on Mostert. I think Mostert could have a nice game this week. It's the Giants. They're at home. I'm not worried about like Achane becoming a workhorse running back all of a sudden.
Right.
But it's full PPR. Terry McLaurin's also at home, and it's the Bears. Give me Terry.
Yeah, not that we're shooting for floor here, but still, Mostert could be kind of like last week. It's not scripted out per se, but, just doesn't have to do too much. And then you got to prefer the receiver. And you know what? Honestly, Mostert might feel that way. It doesn't really matter because he doesn't decide whether he gets the carries or not. Mike McDaniel's going to say, you know what? This is a split. We're going to have HN out there. We're going to have Mostert a little bit out there. He's probably going to be kind of the 1B going forward at this point. But it depends on the situation as well. We got Jawan Flythe, Madison or Pierce?
I mean, I think you got to go Madison. Like, what can we really expect from Dameon Pierce until this offensive line gets healthier? Like, what are you really expecting from Pierce? And it's not like you can say, well, he catches a bunch of passes. Like, no, he doesn't. And really, like last week was a great matchup for him against the Steelers, and he wasn't bad. Like, he wasn't real life bad, but he wasn't good at fantasy. So give me Madison.
Yeah, I think the full PPR here is definitely the kicker. It's Madison. Someone asked, I don't know if it was the same question or something really similar in the Discord. It was Pierce and somebody like this. And I said, look, if it was standard, then maybe go Pierce. Pierce has touchdown upside. He scored a couple times. He actually should be scoring more. He's got a lot of red zone usage. Like he's one of the highest in terms of red zone share among running backs. Doesn't mean he's scoring a lot because they don't get there that often, and it doesn't always work. But as far as scoring touchdowns, I would prefer Pierce. But full PPR catching passes, it's obviously Madison. So I'll go Madison this week, and then Humberto. Dotson or Watson?
I mean, definitely Watson for me. Look, I hope Dotson goes off tonight. But I mean, Watson against the Raiders. Yeah, it's hard for me to keep Watson out of my lineup this week.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to bench Watson. Dotson would be fine if you didn't have somebody better with more upside. Watson is better and has more upside. And we remember from the old XFL, he hate me.
And then is that
Dotson
a
or
baseball?
Herbert?
Does he have a picture of it looks like an old baseball player.
Looks like a baseball, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Baseball player, but whatever. Okay, Dotson or Herbert in full PPR 2 flex league. I mean, it's got to be Dotson, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be Dotson, especially in PPR. I'm not expecting Herbert to do what he did last week. Give me Dotson.
No. Peter 673, Mostert and Achan, or bench one for Brian Robinson.
I'll bench Mostert for Brian Robinson. I like Brian Robinson a lot tonight. You don't have to risk it there. Like, is it Achan? Is it a split? Yeah, I'll go Achan and Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I feel like I have to get Brian Robinson in my lineup. Such a good spot for him. He's been really good. I know it's hard to bench Mostert against the Giants. And it's not a matter of, oh, you don't want both Dolphins running backs. No, that's not it. It's I want Brian Robinson in my lineup.
Yeah.
So, and then trade White for Stevenson.
I don't know. I guess.
not?
I don't even know really. Like, I don't know. These guys feel very similar to me right now. Like, both get the volume, both catch some passes, both in not great offenses behind bad offensive lines. Yeah, very lateral for me.
Yeah, and I'll say I'll take a shot on Stevenson bouncing back. I think I would keep Stevenson or get Stevenson, I guess, if you're getting him in this case. Pretty similar, right? Very similar situations, similar type backs. I feel like the Patriots at some point have to figure something out. Maybe not in the passing game, but at least give them Ramondre the ball more. Maybe that would help. I don't know. Never not hooping unless you're on here asking fantasy football questions. Would you trade Tyreek Hill for Adams?
I want Tyreek Hill.
No, I think the only person you would consider trading Tyreek Hill for straight up might be what Justin Jefferson, CMC.
Bijan Robinson. If you're like, hey, I need running back, yeah, Bijan. That's probably it. That's it. That's the list.
That's the list. What about Jesus Sosa? Welcome back. Ridley for Hall. Is that bad?
I mean, I still prefer Ridley. Man, I really hope that Breece Hall has a good game this week. Not because I really have a lot of Breece Hall this year, but because a lot of people are really going all in on this Robert Saleh. He's no longer on a pitch count thing. And it's going to be really bad for people if he isn't. So
well, if you're going all in on a coach, quote to the media, then that's a process issue.
Well, but it's also like people have wanted to believe in Breece Hall all this year, right? They just completely like he's gonna be the next Adrian Peterson, even though it's already too late for that because Adrian Peterson, I think Adrian Peterson was already the leading rusher in the NFL at this point after post ACL because he ran for 2,000 yards that year. Like he was already crushing. Right. But people just want Breece Hall to overcome the ACL thing so badly that they're like really hyped up about this. So. Look, for all their sakes, for everybody that has Breece Hall, I hope he does. But this feels like an overpay to me for Breece Hall.
Yeah, I'll just come out and say I think it's kind of bad. Yeah, I would not do this. I would definitely rather have Ridley. And that's we were just talking about there, Chris. That's called confirmation bias. When we're like, yes. Oh, that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. Now it's going to happen. I mean, look, maybe he does have a good game this week.
Yeah.
And then all those people will be doing victory laps. But anybody who then has Breece Hall should immediately be selling. But anyways, let's not.
I do think he'll be good this week.
I don't know why when Breece Hall comes up, it always goes off. All right, 95. Terry or Breece? Well, there's Breece again.
If it's PPR, I'm still going Terry.
Yep.
If it's non-PPR, go Breece.
Yeah, I guess so. If it's a standard league, because we did discuss again yesterday the advantage running backs have over receivers, but half or full PPR, it's Terry for me.
Yeah.
For defense, Washington or Indy.
Indy against Tennessee. Yeah, just give me Washington. Give me Washington. They're at home. It's just some Fields. I mean, even last week, how many times did he get sacked? He fumbled. Didn't he throw an interception still? I mean, it's not like even against Denver, like Justin Fields was taking care of the ball. Give me Washington.
Yeah, give me Washington. Indy, and they both have good matchups, but I'll go Washington. They have a little bit better chance, I think, of forcing turnovers and sacks. Then we got Blonde's Hedge. Play Herbert or wait for JT?
Nah, just wait for JT. Wait for JT. Yeah. Press conference today. He didn't flat out say, I want to be an Indianapolis Colt, because he probably still does want to get traded. I'm sure he's still hoping. But he basically said, this is where I'm at, and I'm here to help this team, and I'm here to play. That doesn't sound like a guy who's going to sit out Sunday, right?
He's going to play. What basically happened is he doesn't want to be an Indianapolis Colt, but he realized and was told over and over again, probably by his agent and other people, you really don't have a choice here.
Exactly.
You're not holding the power, and just sitting out and throwing fits is not going to help you in any way. The best thing you can do for your trade value, your image, your career is to actually play and take the high road and play well.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if he wants to be a Colt or not. He realized now, that's it. Yeah. I have to be a Colt unless they decide.
If this was if you were play Brian Robinson tonight or wait for JT, I might say go Brian Robinson. But for Khalil Herbert, just wait for JT.
No, wait for JT.
He's playing.
Abel Badri, welcome. Thank you for the super chat. 13
and a half team? How does this work? I would love to find out how this works. So wait, are you really saying you have 13 and a half? You have a half a team. Somebody only has half a team? What?
Travis Hunter or Dame Lillard?
Damian Lillard, the basketball player?
I'm massively confused now. All right. I'll say, since Lillard didn't go to the Heat, and I will now forever hold a grudge against the Trailblazers, I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
Okay, sure. What was that?
Maybe this is a pick-em question. Let's move on to.
It could be because it is half PPR. Underdog does do half PPR. But I mean, basketball's not playing yet, so there can't be a Damian Lillard pick'em.
Yeah, it's not even NBA season. All right. What's up, Flirtsy? DK on bye, starting Olave and Nico at flex. We got Stevenson, JT, Herbert, London.
Gotta be JT. I'm not benching JT. Just if JT had been playing this whole season, are you benching him this week because it's the Titans?
No, you wouldn't be benching him. I mean, I know it's not a good matchup, but you wouldn't bench him. No, like I said, my concern is that he just doesn't get full snap share because they're not going to throw him out there into a full workload. I wish I could just say, well, just go with Stevenson, but how good do we feel about him? That's the problem. Is I wish I could just say with confidence, yeah, just go Stevenson, but I don't know. Stevenson's the only other guy I would consider.
I'm not. I'm going JT. Stevenson's been terrible, and he's in a terrible matchup. I'm going JT.
Yeah, he's not in a good matchup either. So
I like the question. Also, I don't know if you saw they asked JT the question: when were you fully healthy? And he didn't come right out and say I was fully healthy before the season, and these, Jim Irsay put me on pup. But he basically said at some point in the offseason, it's always a process and you're getting healthier every day. He didn't come right out and say, JT has been healthy since the middle of August. I'm not maybe his conditioning isn't there. We'll see, but he's healthy. So I'm playing JT.
I'll have to say, I give him credit for his presser. I mean, he said all the right things. Obviously, he was coached, and they have agents for a reason, right? But he did take the high road. He said the right things. He's back. He's like, I'm committed. I'm here. What did he say? Like, I'm here. If I wasn't committed, I wouldn't be here.
Yep.
He's doing the right thing. He's not throwing a fit or anything. So, all right. So, anyways, Alex, full PPR. Don't want to start Debo. Okay. Might lose St. Brown. Probably not. Thinking about Rashee Rice or McLaughlin or Mims.
I mean, I understand like when people say things like I don't want to start Debo or I'm nervous about player X. But what I don't understand is when they say like I'm nervous about player X and then they throw 3 guys out that you can never feel good about having in your lineup. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like it's like I like Rashee Rice this week. I think Rashee Rice could have a nice game. But that doesn't mean I have like full confidence in Rashee Rice. It's like I'm still starting Debo and or St. Brown over all these guys this week.
Exactly. Yeah, I like Rice as like a flex option if you have buys and if you're injuries and in a deep league or something like that. I'm not putting him over Debo. So now if St. Brown doesn't play and you need to pick a guy to put in your lineup, okay, then go with Rice.
Yes.
Not Mims. I would definitely not start Mims this week. And McLaughlin,
no. Javonte practiced today too, so he might not even miss this week.
Yeah, there you go. John Garton, start Fields or Stroud?
We've had this question a lot. Go with Stroud.
You could go Fields if you want to shoot for the upside, but I think you feel better with Stroud. I think you're fine with Stroud. And it was followed up by another Stroud or Fields question. So
Stroud.
Yeah, I think we should like alternate to say something different each time just to confuse people. That wouldn't be nice. That would not be nice. Let's see. Oh, always Ryder. Spamming is not going to help. Nathaniel Samuel traded CD and I guess Ramondre for Bijan and Devontae.
Oh, this is a big win. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I prefer CD over Devonta Smith, but it's not like Devonta Smith is terrible, and Bijan is a huge upgrade over Ramondre Stevenson. Big win if you got Bijan and Devonta Smith. Big win.
I definitely like this. And again, I'm always curious what people think. Why is somebody who has Bijan and Devontae doing this? I guess Devontae's dust now because AJ Brown has been good.
But even still, it's not like CD hasn't been bad, right? I mean, CD's been fine, but it's not like CD's been like crushing it.
And you're like, I really want Ramondre Stevenson, over this rookie. So I don't know. All right, so if you got Bijan Devontae, you definitely won this trade. Rebels feet, Nico or Terry?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
This is tough. I mean, I know it's hard to bench Nico right now. He's been so good. And look, there's no guarantee that AJ Terrell shadows him. I mean, he might have just done that because it was Calvin Ridley, right? It's like, oh, it's Calvin Ridley. They might not have him shadow Nico Collins. Maybe they don't feel like Nico Collins is good enough to be shadowed, right? I think I still got to go Nico. He's just been too good. Like I can't. I do really like Terry McLaurin tonight, but we can't act like Terry McLaurin has been can't miss this year.
Yeah, it's tough when you have a team defense like the Bears you're facing with a receiver because on the one hand you're like he could smash, right? And their defense isn't that good in the first place. It hasn't been good for a while, and then they have all these injuries in the secondary. Like it could be a huge Terry night. It also could be that they really don't need to pass the ball that much because they're playing Chicago. Because if Chicago's offense doesn't show up, which is definitely possible, maybe Terry only gets like 3-4 targets. You know what I mean? That's the concern. This is why I'm like, I feel good about Brian Robinson for sure. I feel fine about Terry, but you're right. Nico has the upside. Yeah. This is tough. I mean, this really could go either way. I do think Nico is the better bet. Bronson Mendez, welcome back. 18 full PPR. Let's rate this team. Herbert, Bijan, Breece, JT, and Cook. Hopefully the right Cook. Ramondre. Amon-Ra, Olave, DJ Moore, Godwin, Smith, Kelsey, Ingram. All right, so this is an 18 league, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
God offered Etienne for DJ Moore. You have to take that.
Yeah, you got to take Etienne. It's so hard to rate these 8, like, because it's like, well, you have Bijan, you have JT, and you have Breece and Cook, and you have Sun God and Olave and Devonta Smith, and you have Kelsey and Ingram. But that's like, oh yeah, but it's an 8-team league, and you have Justin Herbert. I mean, it's a great team. It's a great team, but I'm sure like there's 3 or 4 other teams in your league that are probably also great. So, but yeah, I think definitely take Etienne for DJ Moore. Definitely.
Yeah, that's exactly, 8-team league. You're like, I mean, you got really good players, but somebody else in your league has CMC, and somebody else in your league has Justin Jefferson, and somebody else has Lamar Jackson. So I still think this is a really good team. I mean, I'd give it like probably even an 8.5 for an 8-team league. So good, but I would take that deal because you really don't need to start DJ Moore. Running back's always going to be more valuable. If something funky happens with JT, I would feel better about throwing Etienne in my starting lineup than Breece or Cook or at this point Ramondre. All right, Adante Bourne is back. So remember that league where people just don't care about Dave Montgomery and T. Higgins. It's an 8-team league, but still. All right, he's got Hurts, Kyron, Jacobs, Chase, Amon, and then Andrews, Flex, and AK. On the bench is Waddle. Dramatic pause. Debo, Aaron Jones, James Cook, Kirk, Laporta, Nico. Okay. So who would you drop to get T. Higgins?
I mean, Laporta. Like, yeah, you don't need Laporta. You got Mark Andrews. It's an 8-team league. I'm guessing there are decent tight ends. Like if David Montgomery and Nico Collins are still on the waiver wire, I'm guessing there are still good tight ends on the waiver wire. At least good enough, like if you need to stream for Andrews. Also, I would be flexing Waddle over AK.
Yes. I get it. Kamara caught a bunch of passes last week, but Waddle has that upside facing the Giants.
Yeah.
It is full PPR. I mean, Kamara's a good floor play, right? He's a good floor play. So go Waddle over AK, and yeah, you don't need a backup tight end. You really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought, didn't he say he picked up Monty?
No, he was asking if you should drop Aaron Jones for Monty.
Oh, he was going to pick up Monty. Okay. That's
But
what
I
I'm
mean, I don't
thinking.
know who I dropped for Montgomery. Alvin Kamara?
Aaron Jones. Yeah, I know. I mean, this does make more sense. Like, thank you, Adante, for clarifying. This does help kind of put the big picture into context here. I mean, you have enough running backs. Like, I still don't want Monty just floating out there on waivers for somebody else. So I would say, yeah, drop Laporta, maybe drop James Cook in an 8-team league and get Monty instead. I don't know.
I don't know. I might prefer James Cook rest of the season, though.
Yeah, Cook, Jones are kind of the same. All right, well, let's move on. And then Ryan, Leal, Terry, or Madison.
This is pretty easily Terry McLaurin for me.
Yeah. Assuming this is PPR, probably even half PPR. Yeah, got to go Terry. Dave Brooks is in a 10-team half PPR league. Would you trade Kyron and Waller for Pollard and Laporta?
Yes. I think you might be getting the upgrade at both positions. Like, I prefer Pollard over Kyron, and I would rather have Laporta than Waller, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's another trade considering is Connor Waller for Pollard and Ferguson.
I do that as well. I mean, I still significantly prefer Pollard over Connor. And I don't even know if Ferguson and Waller is going to be that big of a difference at the end of the season, to be honest. So, yeah, give me Pollard and Ferguson.
Yeah, I think I would do either one of these, but I would prefer the first one. Yeah, I would either one. Do either one, but if I would start with the first one. I mean, if you had a choice between trading away Kyron or Connor,
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like the tight ends are kind of the same.
I prefer Laporta much more than Ferguson. Although that could change. Ferguson is getting the target, so yeah, either one is good.
All right, either one it is. And then let's go with Sidekick Kid 87 with the Chargers on bye. Would you start Sam Howell and DJ Moore in place of Herbert and Keenan?
I mean, yes. Like, I don't think they're unstartable. Obviously, it depends on your other options, but yeah, I mean, they're not like, I'm not like, don't start DJ Moore this week or don't start Sam Howell. I mean, yeah, they're certainly startable.
Yeah, we've been talking. DJ Moore has been startable almost every week, really. I mean, no reason not to, for sure. And then Sam Howell, again, not the safest. We know this, but he could have a big week. He put up good numbers even against the Eagles. So, yeah, I think Sam Howell is definitely startable. Keith, giving us a shout out. Just learned who Keaton Mitchell is. I mean, learn something new every day. Kidding, of course. Silas, Taphorn, McLaurin, or Nico.
Didn't we do this already? I think we went slightly Nico.
I think so.
It's just hard to bench Nico Collins right now. It's just hard. And it's not like, again, like, did Terry McLaurin get credit for that touchdown last week, or did Brian Robinson get credit for it?
Terry got the touchdown, which is funny because it was a recovery, right?
Yeah,
and I actually,
yeah,
I took his pick'em on, I like to take chances. So I took the pick'em for him scoring a touchdown. It was over under higher, lower, half a touchdown, and he got it. But it specifically says receiving or rushing touchdown.
So you didn't get credit?
But I think they credited it because I had a little green thing. I didn't want to winning that anyway, so it didn't matter. But that was funny because it's receiving or rushing touchdown.
Maybe it counted as a rushing touchdown because Brian Robinson ran the ball and then fumbled, so it was like a rush.
I mean, what else could it be? It has to be the
But
rush.
anyways, I mean, yeah, my whole point is, like, Terry's been like, he's been pretty up and down this year, right? He's had some, like, a good game, some not so good games. It's still Sam Howell and the Commanders. I mean, I know it's like, look, I still really like Terry McLaurin this week because of the matchup, but we can't sit here and pretend like the Commanders couldn't go out there tonight and look terrible, and everybody's like at halftime going like, why did I? Oh my gosh! Like, what is going on? Like, how can they be this bad against the Bears? So I think you got to go Nico. It's very close, but Nico's just been so good, and we know Stroud's going to throw it 40 to 50 times. I think you still got to go Nico.
Yeah, this is a tough one, which is why we're getting this question a lot. I think you're okay with either one. Give the slight edge to Nico, though. And then we got the fantasy football minute. Another
Right.
Terry question, and Terry or Hollywood.
Well, here I'll go Terry. Here I will definitely go Terry. I'll take advantage. I'll go with the matchup, the upside. Look, Hollywood's been good, and Josh Dobbs has been good, but what's Hollywood's upside really? Like, he finds the end zone. So give me Terry McLaurin in this case.
Yeah, in this case, I'm going Terry. I know Hollywood coming off a pretty good game, but you know what? They might not have to pass it as much this week. Hollywood, not a bad pick, but I'm going Terry also because of matchup. Jesse Banda, quick feedback here. Traded Puka for Devontae Smith and Zay Flowers.
I think it'll probably, I mean, yeah, it won't be bad for you. I'll tell you that. Like, because, like, even if Puka is still really good, is he going to be better than Devonta Smith the rest of the year with a healthy cup? Probably not. And you also got Zay Flowers. So I think it's a good deal for you.
I think it's a very good deal. This is a good way to sell high. You got those two guys. Yeah, I think this is a big dub. And then Agam Aurora, we got Khalil Herbert, Miles Sanders, Damian Pierce, pick 2 in half PPR.
Oh, man.
These are the fun ones.
Have we heard, what is the latest on Miles Sanders practice reports? Have you heard anything? I haven't seen anything.
Not about him specifically, no.
I mean, is he fully practicing? Did he fully practice?
I thought he was still limited, but you know, things can always change. Limited today.
I guess you still got to go Sanders and Pierce. I don't know. What are we really expecting from Khalil Herbert tonight? I'm going Sanders and Pierce, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't want to start Miles Sanders. Not a good spot for him, but am I putting Khalil Herbert over him? Probably not. It's tough because you have to decide now, right? So I would say Pierce somehow becomes the top option here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess probably Sanders. And then streaming QB, we got Sam Howell, Russ, Stafford, or Dobbs.
I'm going Sam Howell tonight. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of risk, but he's at home. He's going against the Bears. Give me Sam Howell.
All right, interesting. I don't know. I think I might actually. I mean, I'm not gonna buy into Russ because he's playing the Jets.
No.
I think I might go Stafford. I feel like, I mean, they're just throwing the ball so much. I feel like they're still gonna have to throw it a lot against the Eagles. What if Cup is back? I think I'd go Stafford for upside.
Stafford is certainly safer.
Yeah.
Certainly safer.
Now Howell does have that rushing ability that Stafford doesn't, but yeah, I'm leaning Stafford. Dan Fuller, welcome back, Dan. Traded Kyron Lamb Gibbs for Chase, Etienne, and Moss. He's a JT owner. Already has Jefferson and Achan. Okay, what do you think of that?
I mean, I can't say I necessarily hate it. Obviously, I prefer Chase over Lamb. I think rest of the season, I still prefer Etienne over Kyron. I mean, Moss, just a handcuff now, unless JT somehow gets traded. And Gibbs still has potential. So, I mean, I think value-wise, it probably favors the left. But I don't know if you're going to hate it long term because, look, now we're hearing talk that Ronnie Rivers might get even more touches this week. Not saying he's going to get more touches than Kyron Williams, but he might get even more touches than he got last week. Apparently, the owner told Sean McVay, like, hey, why aren't you playing Ronnie Rivers? Like, why is Kyron Williams getting all the touches? Like, I just don't feel good about Kyron Williams long term. Like, he does not feel safe to me long term. Like,
Has he met Sean McVay? Does he know how he uses running
yeah,
backs?
right, exactly.
Why are you surprised?
I think what the owner was saying is like, you realize Kyron Williams is like 195 pounds. He can't take every snap and return punts. He's going to die, right? Like, you're going to kill this kid.
Fall apart.
Like, you're going to literally, we're going to have our first ever NFL death. I shouldn't joke about that, but like literally, like he's going to break. So I think long term, like Chase and Etienne will be better than Lamb and Kyron. It's just the Gibbs and the Moss part because I feel like Moss could be completely worthless, right? If JT never gets traded, Moss is like you just basically gave away Gibbs for nothing. So,
right.
Yeah, but I mean Chase and I don't know. That's my take on it.
I don't love it because basically, like you said, Chase, okay, kind of an upgrade over Lamb, not huge. Etienne, Kyron, okay. But then you basically gave Gibbs for a handcuff. I mean, that's it. Because you already have JT. You're like, okay, I want his backup. But then he's not startable if you have
Right.
JT. So I don't love it, but maybe it'll be fine if Chase winds up being Chase. And Kyron does fall apart, which I always imagine, like, have you ever played the Lego video games, like Lego Star Wars, and when you shoot them, they fall apart into the bricks? Like, that's what I imagine Kyron Williams is going to do at one point. He just gets hit and just like everything falls apart.
Yes.
Like, if that happens, then you're okay, fine. You're like, well, I didn't lose anything. But yeah, I don't love it in terms of the value trading for Moss right now, but I think you could come out okay. And they traded Ingram for Nico.
Now this trade I love. I mean, trading
Right.
the decent tight end for Nico Collins, especially when you already have Laporta, who might be just as good as Evan Ingram this year. Yeah, that trade I love. That was a great trade.
That's a win. That's definitely a win. So well done there. Humberto. Herbert Stevenson.
Give me Stevenson. I mean, yeah, I know he hasn't been good, but I'm still gonna bet on Stevenson over Herbert.
Yeah. People look at what Herbert did last week, but look at what he did the week before. Right. It's going to depend. So I'll go Stevenson. You think Barkley's going to play?
I don't know. I don't really have a good feeling on Barkley. I think he's been limited the last 2 practices. I still don't really have a good feeling on him. I'm pretty 50-50 on whether he's going to play or not.
It's hard to tell. Obviously, you got to wonder if last week's performance, or whatever you want to call it, might, put a little more urgency to him coming back on the field. So I think
Yeah.
he probably plays, but again, just speculating at this point. And would you flex Dobbs, Sutton, or one of those running backs?
Give me Dobbs. Sutton going against the Jets, no thanks. Give me Dobbs going against the Raiders. He's getting targets. Give me Dobbs.
Yep. Give me Dobbs too, and then Fields or Prescott.
Well, here I'm going to go Fields. You can't love Prescott this week against the 49ers. I think Prescott is still like startable, but you just can't expect a big like Prescott game. So I'm going to go Fields.
I'm going to go Fields too. Dak, like I said, he's going to get better, but not necessarily this week against the 49ers. All right. And then the truth has arrived. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And we'll get your question now. Hopefully you're still on, because I think you missed it last night, but we got to you. So here we go. The truth. League mate wants Devontae Adams and Cam Akers. Why? For Raheem Mostert, Thielen, and Monty.
No, I'm keeping Adams. I mean, this is like one of those trades where it's like, hey, here's 3 guys who are kind of good for your like stud. That usually rarely works out for the person giving away the stud. Like studs win championships. Unless you're in like an extremely deep league or something, studs win championships. I'm keeping Adams here. Keeping Adams.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and then I just now read the rest of it. This guy is pretty smart. He's trying to sell high on Mostert. He's selling high on Thielen, coming off of big games, and Monty just had this huge game. He's getting all 3 guys. He's thinking, I'm going to sell high and get a stud.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing, and look what he said. He's got the best team in the league. Look, when you think about your trades, it shouldn't matter necessarily what you're giving him. It's what are you getting? I mean, he knows what he's doing, right? He's pretty smart. He must watch our show too. So he got Mostert, Thielen, and Monty. He's trying to sell those guys for a reason. Okay, so just think about that. Don't do this. I'm not going to say don't trade with him specifically, but be careful, because he obviously knows what's going on. No, you're not going to be happy at the end of the day if you do this trade.
No.
The Gaming Wolf, DJ Moore, Christian Watson.
I'm going Watson. I mean, they're both risky. It's not a great matchup for DJ Moore. We don't like Fields could regress again. Give me Watson.
Yeah, I'm going to go Watson as well. Gabriel, also a member, got offered Brian Robinson and DK for Nico and Sanders.
I think that's a win.
Oh,
it's a win. I think the upgrade Brian Robinson to Sanders is significant enough that, look, is Nico really going to be better than DK rest of the season? Maybe, maybe not. And if he is it going to be significant? Probably not. So I think that's a win. That's a win.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking this. Brian Robinson over Sanders for sure. DK, Nico, like you said, they might be comparable down the stretch. Just because Nico has had better numbers in the first 4 games doesn't mean that's going to happen the rest of the season. So no, I'm going to definitely do this. What about Josh reacts? Those same 3 guys, Stroud, Fields, or Love?
I'm going Stroud.
Yeah, well, no, actually we didn't. We didn't have Stroud versus Love straight up. We had Fields or Stroud. We had Fields or Love.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, look, if you want to risk Fields, I'm not going to say no. Like you can't start him. He could have a big game again, but I would prefer Stroud. Between Stroud and Love, I don't know. I mean, I think Love could have a good game, but probably just go Stroud. The Joker, Washington or Buff? Well, Washington gets Chicago. I think it has to be Washington.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to bet. Buffalo's D looks great. I mean, look, last week they got Miami and they looked pretty good. So, but yeah, I'd probably go Washington.
Yeah, I'm going to go Washington. Then here's a tough one. DC Valentine. D's or these? Depends
These.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, these.
Top S or tops. Hollywood over Gabe or Addison.
Yes, Hollywood over both of them for me.
Also feeling idiotic about who to start at flex out of Pollard, Swift, Mostert, and HN.
I mean, you got some good options, but I just can't bench Pollard. I can't do it. His usage is insane. Like, I know HN can do his whole, like he did last week, 8 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But maybe this is a week where he has 8 carries, 30 yards, and no touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, Pollard's usage is insane. And I do really like Swift too, but I'm going Pollard still.
And I don't know how you can only start and flex one of these guys. I don't even know who your running backs are then, but Mostert's last out of this group. You know, Swift, of course I like, but I'm not putting him ahead of Pollard. It's just, do you go for HN or not? It's so tough. And honestly, this is only even a question because Pollard's getting the 49ers.
True.
HN's getting the Giants. So, I mean, you know, we always go with volume and usage and, oh, man. I don't know. I know it's hard to bench Pollard, so I'll just go Pollard too. Make life easier. I'll make life easier for you, not disagree. The intern of war, Edwards, Pierce, or Gibbs in PPR?
I think I'm going Gus. It's just these guys, Pierce and Gibbs. I mean, yeah, at least Edwards has a chance to score. Give me Edwards.
It's just so funny how different Pierce and Gibbs. Gibbs, great offensive line, you know, good situation, just not getting the touches and the volume. Pierce getting the volume, but terrible offensive line and just not on a great rushing offense. I like Gus this week. I'll go Gus for the upside. And then Cup or Puka?
Well, look, I know Puka's been great, but if Cooper Kupp is healthy and they're playing him, I'm putting Cooper Kupp in my lineup. Like, yeah, I'm playing Kupp.
Yeah, I actually hope and think this might be easy to answer because you'll know by game time, hopefully. Is Cup going to play? Is he going to play a full set of snaps? If so, it's Cup. If they say he's going to be limited, maybe Puka.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't. It doesn't feel like the Rams are going to play him if he's going to be limited. Like, it feels like if they're either going to sit him or they're like he's good to go and we're playing him.
You would think so.
Although you never know, but that's how it sounds. I will say this: maybe just play Kupp and Puka because the Sun God is dealing with. He's got the toe in the plate in his shoe. He's got this abdomen thing now. I mean, look, he plays through all sorts of injuries, but he is nicked up. If you really are like, you know, maybe just play Kupp and Puka.
Well, that's a good point because you know, talking about coaches, Sean McVay is not a guy I'd be like, oh, let's ease him into. No, he's like, okay, you're good. Get out there and run you into the ground until you fall apart.
Yes.
Dan Campbell's the opposite. He's like, oh, what's that? You got a cut on your finger? Like, nah, you got to sit this one out.
Yeah.
So Sun God is a warrior, but yeah, you know that they will go away from certain guys. They might not have to pass the ball that much. It's Carolina. So, I mean, honestly, this one, you're just going to have to monitor the practice reports up until, you know, the weekend. So check back with us Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. Cheekers trade Rachaad White to get Mostert.
I think I'm sticking with Rachaad White. I feel like, yeah, it's like I don't see Mostert's path getting better as the season goes on. Remember, Jeff Wilson Jr. is supposed to be activated this week too, although I haven't even heard anything about that. Maybe they figure, oh, we don't need you now. But I don't feel like Mostert's path is going to increase. If anything, it's going to decrease as the season goes on. And Rachaad White is getting Sean Tucker Sean Tucker lost snaps to Keyshawn Vaughn last week. Like, it's basically Rachaad White's backfield. Like, no one is taking touches from Rachaad White. So I'm taking Rachaad White here.
Yes, I'm taking Rashad White. Looking forward,
Yes.
that's who I think is going to get more points. Senor Royland, every endgame response, you got to go. Oh, I see. Is that what we say? That's fun. Probably partially true, though.
Yeah, probably.
Yabsira. Pick 3, need help deciding with one receiver, one running back in the flex. Have B-Rob, DJ Moore, Monty, Kirk, Nico, or H-Chan.
Well, H-Chan's got to be your running back. Kirk and Nico is really close for me. I think I might go Kirk. That one's really close. What did Royland just say? What was Royland's question?
Let me see.
Royland's response there?
Okay, go ahead and fill in the blanks. Okay, so you got to go.
You got to go H-Chan at running back.
I mean, what can we really expect from?
What can we really expect from? Where was it at? Where are we at here?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, what can we really expect from DJ Moore this week? But we really were on all these guys, so we can't really use that set because we were pretty much on all these guys, right? We were on Brian Robinson, DJ Moore, Monty, Christian Kirk, Nico, even H-Chan. Once he got drafted by the Dolphins, I was like, okay, I guess you got to draft H-Chan now. You got to draft this guy. So we were on
beforehand. You're like, I'm not interested in H-Chan. Then you're like, okay, I guess I have to be. And you were in. You're like, yeah, I got to take him. You were taking him in mocks, and yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, all right. So back to the.
You got to go H-Chan at running back.
Yes.
Kirk and Nico is close for me, but I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Kirk. Because, again, Nico could get the AJ Terrell treatment. And then flex, man, Brian Robinson and Montgomery are like, they're both in great spots.
Neck and neck. Maybe it's my bias. I still feel like I need Brian Robinson in my lineup. It's the Bears. He's been good all season. It's the Bears. And then it's also the Bears. I would go B-Rob, but Monty, it's hard to bench Monty. So I think you're good either way.
Yeah, that's fine. You're good either way. So I think you got to go H-Chan Kirk slightly over Nico at wide receiver. And then, Brian Robinson. I like them both. So Brian Robinson.
There you go. That is it. But thank you immediately following Matthew CK giving us some props. Next level, right with Bijan. Yeah.
And, thank you. We took a lot of heat for Bijan.
Don, there you go. I don't know if that is a follow-up for that. Okay, let's go with this. Gibbs or Herbert? Israel, Arias.
I'll just go with Gibbs. And hope he catches some passes. Not expecting a big Herbert night tonight. I'll just go with Gibbs. Assuming it's PPR. If it's non-PPR, go Herbert.
Fernando wants to know Cousins or Fields.
Here I'm going Cousins. He's at home. It's the Chiefs. This is a get-right spot for the Chiefs. And if it is a get-right spot for the Chiefs, that means the Vikings are going to throw the ball 50 times. So give me Cousins.
Yeah, this case, you can not worry about Fields. Just go Cousins. Brian Reedy, would you flex JT or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Definitely JT.
I agree there. And then, we go to Walking Amongst the Living. It's pretty cool. PPR trade. Tony Pollard to get Reek.
Well, so in a vacuum, I would take Tyreek Hill over Pollard, but you better have some good running backs behind Pollard if you're going to trade him. So you've got H-Chan, I guess Javonte Williams.
Oh, Ramondre.
Nah, see, in this case, in a vacuum, give me Tyreek Hill. But when my running backs are now H-Chan, Javonte Williams, and Ramondre Stevenson, I'm keeping Pollard.
And you got Kupp coming back here on this team. So
you got Kupp, you got Diggs, you got Dobbs, you got Dell. Keep Pollard. In this case, keep Pollard. It's better for your team.
Gonna agree. And look, at the end of the day, sure, Tyreek Hill probably gets more fancy points than Tony Pollard, but Tony Pollard probably finishes among the top or amongst the top 5 running backs. Tyreek will also probably be amongst the top 5 wide receivers, which is more valuable in the trade market. It's the running back. So, anyways, yeah, I would say on this team, nah, keep Pollard. Ooh, I don't even Python. Why are you doing this? HN or Waddle rest of season?
I still got to go Waddle. I do. I just do. Again, I'm just gonna take the proven stud player and bet on him versus the running back. Look, I wasn't like saying like, I definitely said like, hey, you gotta draft HN now. He landed in literally the one spot where he could succeed. He landed in it. If he was drafted by any of the 31 other teams, I'd be like, no, I'm not drafting HN. Not drafting this guy. But he went to Miami. And this is why I said you got to draft him, because this is why. Because this offense, what he can do in this offense. But at the same time, he's played 2 games. He's 190 pounds soaking wet. Like, I'm going to go with the guy that we know has been a stud for 2 years in the NFL. In the same offense, by the way. Give me Waddle the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it's so tempting to go with the running back. And, of course, the guy who's just coming off those 2 huge games. But I'm not ready to put him over Waddle just yet. Rome, 710, Madison or Jacoby Myers or Stevenson for the flex.
I'm going Jacoby.
Yep, me too.
Going Jacoby. I like him this week. Unless somehow Jimmy G doesn't play, but I'm going Jacoby.
Well, yeah, like if Jimmy G doesn't play, then it's off the table, but it sounds like he will. Look, I know it's only been for him 3 games, but all the advanced metrics show that he's been targeted so much. First read also, but he's been efficient. Everything is pointing to him. Like there's nobody else. It's Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. Like no other receiver or tight end really exists in this offense.
Yes.
Which is maybe part of the reason why the Raiders aren't really winning too many games, because their offense is so predictable and one-dimensional. But whatever. For fantasy, I'm taking Myers.
Yeah.
JT Lebowski, DJ Moore over Olave.
No, I'm still going Olave.
No reason to be too scared of Olave. And then Quinner in half PPR. Would you take in the flex Sutton, Jameson Williams, Zay Jones, who is practicing, or Spears?
Well, in this case, I guess I'm just going to go Sutton. I don't like it. Don't like the matchup at all, but he has a chance to score. He's getting end zone targets. That's huge for a wide receiver. Like, it's one thing to get red zone targets. Like, when you get the ball thrown to you and you're standing at the 10-yard line, that's not the same as when you get the ball thrown to you and you're standing in the end zone. And it's basically like, if you catch this pass, you score a touchdown, versus you got to catch this pass and then run 10 yards. And Sutton is getting end zone targets.
Right.
So at least he has that. So give me Sutton.
Yeah, Spears isn't really startable at this point, unless you're just desperate at running back, which is not the question here. Zay Jones, sure, maybe he practices and plays this week, but not ready to start him over a guy like Sutton, who is, I think, technically the number 1 receiver in his offense. And I'm not starting Jameson Williams. So by default, it's Sutton. Spice, Khalil Herbert, or any of those guys. It's PPR. I would say it's not Khalil Herbert.
I'm going Gabe Davis. It's not a terrible matchup for him against the Jags. He's got the upside. Yeah, in this case, I'm just going to gamble on Gabe Davis.
Yeah, I think so. It's not a terrible spot for him. Gabe has been good. I mean, maybe it really was the ankle last year was bothering him or something. I mean, I don't know. I want to be like a Gabe Davis apologist, but he's been good. London, can't trust him. Sutton, if it wasn't the Jets, I would have definitely said Sutton if the matchup wasn't as bad. And I think Davis will be fine. So go for Davis, because you're just hoping for upside here anyways. Bobby Brook with another, but this is a 14 team. Bobby, you must have multiple leagues. I commend you for that. Rate my team and potential trade options. So we got Watson and Love. And this is 14-teamer. Bijan, Aaron Jones, Swift, Rashad, and Dillon. Keenan Allen, Hollywood, Watson, Pickens, London, Kmet, and Thomas. and then the Dolphins.
I mean, this is a pretty good team for a 14-teamer. You got Bijan, you got Swift. I mean, you even have Aaron Jones and Rachaad White, who are solid, like RB2s.
Yeah.
You got Keenan Allen. Hollywood looks good. Christian Watson back and healthy. Maybe they do something in Pittsburgh. Between Kmet and Thomas, I mean, you're okay at tight end. But look, if you're in a 14-teamer and tight end is your weakness, that's pretty good. I think this is for a 14-team, I think this is a great team. Great team. I don't really see any I mean, sure, you could try to upgrade at tight end, but really, no one's really trading Kelsey or Mark Andrews right now or TJ Hawkinson, because it's like if you have those guys, you're like, oh, thank goodness I have these guys. So I don't really think you have to do anything here. This looks like a really good team.
Yeah, you have 4 startable running backs, which is impressive even in a 12-team league.
Yeah.
And you got high-end talent with Bijan and Swift. Keenan has been one of the top receivers, fantasy players. You won't play at that level all year, but still, I mean, you're pretty good. You have weekly upside, even Pickens and at some point London. So, no, I don't really think. I mean, I'd say I don't love, either the quarterbacks, even Love, but I think it's fine mix and match. Maybe Watson comes around. You can drop Logan Thomas and pick up a flyer and running back or something like that. But no, I think you're good. And then stream defense. Dolphins this week? Yes. Dolphins every week going forward? No, but you can always stream. A couple of quickies here. We are, by the way, guys, we're doing all the super chats as fast as we can. If you did drop a super chat, we'll get to it. So stay patient. We're not skipping anybody, at least not intentionally. So just hang out and we'll catch up to you. And then we'll do some of these also, these regulars. Let's do a speed round here.
All right.
If possible. Gina with a very good question. I don't know if you can answer this quickly. Would you trade Jamar for Taylor and Puka?
Man. You always say you're going to just pick like speed round and then you pick a question like this. Because this is one of those trades that could end up blowing up in your face, or you could end up looking like a genius. Like if Puka is still awesome with Cooper Kupp and you got JT and Puka, you're going to look like a genius. But if Puka becomes basically Robert Woods, which is fine, right? Robert Woods was fine in fantasy.
Solid, weekly started.
But if that's all he is, if that's all Puka is, and you gave up Jamar Chase, then you're going to be like, wow, that was not smart.
Yeah, but you're getting a starting running back and receiver.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty fair. Yeah. I think this depends on team need, honestly.
Yeah, if you're desperate at running back, I guess it's okay.
Vinny, if JT plays, do you say Gibbs for him? We kind of already answered this.
I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys right now. This is how I feel. If JT plays, JT is in my lineup. If Cooper Kupp plays, Cooper Kupp is in my lineup. Unless we hear something where it's they're going to ease him in, he's going to be on a pitch count. But any other thing other than that, if they play, they're in my lineup. They're just in my lineup.
All right. Yeah, and I don't think you're going to be sad sitting Gibbs this week, so I think that's fine. Start JT. Now, this will be quick. I know this. David traded Mostert for Ayuk, got Ayuk.
Yeah, that's a big win. Big win. Big win.
Very big win. Justin, add Dotson for Goddard if he already has Laporta.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to drop Goddard, but I mean, you got Laporta. Just pick up Dotson. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay right now. And then Brian Forth. Brian, Dobbs, Goff, or Dak this week?
I think I'm going Goff. He is at home. I mean, I don't think Goff has necessarily a huge game, but he's at home. He usually plays better at home. I mean, I don't know if I see Dobbs having a huge game. And I don't really see Dak having a huge game. Actually, you know what? I might just go Dak.
I'm kind of feeling Dak. I think this is one of those games where nobody expects him to do anything and people are dropping him and benching him. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, how did he go for 300 yards? Because the 49ers have a good defense, but they also have a really good offense. The Cowboys might actually have to pass the ball here. So I think this is almost like a sneaky shootout type game.
Yeah, I might just go Dak.
Yeah, I would go Dak.
And I would drop both those quarterbacks if I have Dak, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there really is no reason for you to have Dobbs if you have those other guys. So,
Yeah, I would drop them both and pick up like a Ronnie Rivers type, somebody like that.
yeah. All right, we're going to get to the super chats again, but first, just a reminder because we are, well, actually, we're a little past halfway because the game is starting in a little while. So we're going to have to definitely catch up. But if you weren't with us at the beginning, just a reminder that you still have a little bit of time left. If you haven't tried Underdog, to use that Justin Fields new customer special higher than 1 yard. That's right. If you're signing for Underdog for the very first time, you get that pick 'em, and it's basically a freebie. Higher half a yard. I think he'll do it. And then you combine it with any other pick, and then that's a good way to just automatically triple your money. And you already double your money just from signing up and depositing. Because if you use promo code Endgame, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Don't have to go $100. You can just start with 10, 20, whatever you're comfortable with. But whatever you put in, they will match it in your account automatically. And of course, don't forget, again, giving away $100,000 this Sunday. That is right. Underdog is giving away $100,000, but it's going to be spread out to 1,000 different winners. $100 to 1,000 people. So you have a pretty good chance of, again, getting free money. And anybody can use that. And you just take the mystery player of the day. Yesterday was Kittle. Today looks like it's Mark Andrews. It really doesn't matter who it is. When you log in after you signed up, you'll get that popping up and you'll see it. Just take the pick. It doesn't matter, higher, lower, and you're automatically entered. So there you go. Endgame is the promo code. Make sure you use it. All right, let's get to it. Marcos Alvarado, last minute decision for sure. Keep Richardson or start Fields?
Richardson.
The early head start on Fields pay off. Nah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
getting points
not a lot of
early or late in the week, they count the same, right?
What's that?
Getting your points early in the week or late in the week, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, no. Not a lot of quarterbacks I'm starting over Richardson this week.
Jonah John.
15-teamer. Wow.
15 team. Y'all have some unique leagues. All right, a 15-teamer, unless he meant to type 14. All my starters are on bye. Ouch. Okay, so you got Michael Wilson, Rashee Rice, Addison, Tank Dell, Jalen Warren, James Cook, and Justice Hill. I guess we have to start all of these guys. Let's rank them. Who do we want to start at receiver?
Well, wide receiver, I would rank I think Dell, Addison, Rice, Wilson. And then at running back, James Cook. And then there's like this huge gap, like massive gap. So if you're thinking about, I'm saying this because if you're thinking about like you need flexes, this is my way of saying don't flex one of these other running backs. So it's James Cook, a huge gap, and then Jalen Warren, Justice Hill.
Definitely James Cook, and then Warren would be the number 2. At receiver, my number 1 pick there is Tank. Number 2 is Rice. If you still need another or to flex, it would be Addison and then Wilson. So good luck. Mercury.
No, Devonta Smith is an every week must start, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, look, you want to start Watson if possible, but not over Devonta Smith. And definitely not this week. I think it could be a big Devonta week. Just when everybody is trying to trade him away for some reason. Moises, welcome back again. Moises' question is, got Watson through trades.
Nice.
Starter at flex instead of Gus Edwards?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Especially in PPR, yes. If it was standard, maybe you could talk me into Gus, but in PPR, definitely Watson.
Yeah. And then Weez and Ed. Amari, Sutton, Achane, or Etienne and Chase?
I think you have to do this. Because, if you look at it, I'm still taking Chase over Achane. I'm not taking Achane over Chase after 2 games. And then I think Etienne and Cooper is very fair. I think Etienne and Cooper is very fair. Sutton, just kind of like a throw-in for me. I mean, Sutton's okay. He's startable. It's not like Zach Moss or somebody like that, but he doesn't really. So for me, I'm taking the Etienne and Chase side here.
Yeah, I think you take the Etienne and Chase side. Hard to trade HN, but I think this is a good example of selling high and getting back a good return. You got Jamar Chase. I mean, Etienne definitely startable every week. So yeah, I think this is good if you're getting Etienne and Chase. Joe with another one, Joe Castles. Dotson or Rashee Rice?
Yeah, see, I think this is getting a little too deep for me for Rashee Rice. I mean, I like him. I like the matchup, but I mean, he's still not even playing 50% of the snaps. He's still not running like a ton of routes. I mean, he's got some upside, but he's also got a ton of risk. I'm just going to go with Dotson.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Dotson. I don't mind Dotson this week at all. Yeah, Rice is an interesting flex, but if you have somebody who's already solid, yeah, I like Dotson. Jedi Ka, thank you. Got a membership. KD, 10 team. Would you trade Olave and Kyron for Diggs?
Monroe, Wilson, Addison Swift, Breece, A-Chain. So now you have A-Chain, JT back, Breece, Gibbs, Monroe, you're white. You got Garrett Wilson, Addison. You also have Swift. Yeah, I probably do this. Because between Swift, Breece, A-Chain, JT, and Gibbs, you're fine at running back. As much as I like Olave, I like Diggs much more. So you don't really, so even though I think you're overpaying for Diggs, like you're definitely overpaying for Diggs, this is a trade that makes your team better.
Right. I think it's a little much. I don't mind doing this at all, but I think it's fine. This is probably a trade that kind of helps both teams, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I think you can do this. And then Arda Bebe one got a super chat in there. Thank you. Don't see a question right away. So if you do put one up, we'll put it up. Jedikoff just got the membership. Here's the question: one receiver, one flex. Dotson, Dobbs, Flowers, Dell, Pickens, Wilson. One receiver, one flex.
Well, I'm going Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. And then I'm flexing Zay Flowers. I like Zay Flowers this week.
Yeah, Flowers is my first pick here. Yeah, go for Wilson based on the matchup. The others are like Dobbs is a good pick. Dell is a good pick, but Dotson has the Bears. Go Wilson. What? Okay. And then Joe with another one. Howell or Love?
Well, I said I'm going Howell. I think you said you're going Love. It's very close. Love is safer. Love is certainly the safer one. So if you don't want to get burned at QB, go Love. But I like Howell tonight. But he could certainly burn you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Love. I feel like he's pretty not only safe, but does have a high ceiling. So I would go Love, but I think you can go Howell if you're feeling lucky. And then this question could only come from the Joker. Should you trade Keaton Mitchell for Pollard?
Well, hold on. Is it Keaton Mitchell or is it Michael Keaton, aka Batman?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm still taking Pollard.
Yeah, I mean, you're the Joker. You got it. You can't take the Batman. You're the Joker. Come on.
The Batman. Jack's World, 8 team. Another one. Fields, Mostert, Monty, Jefferson, Moore, Komet, Kirk. On the bench, we got Herbert. Okay, I guess this week. Etienne, Lockett, Zach Moss, Gabe Davis, Myers. Thoughts?
My thoughts are this team needs this is not what I expect when I see 8 team. Obviously you started with Jefferson, but I don't know what you did after that because Mostert, Monty, Etienne isn't bad at running back, but it's not great for an 8-teamer. It's not great for an 8-teamer. You should have a stud. You should have had Pollard wasn't there in the second. Derrick Henry wasn't there in the second. One of those guys wasn't there in the second. I'm not even sure who you took in the second round here.
Well, maybe this was a Nick Chubb team. That's all I can think.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, it might have been a Nick Chubb team. That's true. Which hurts. Look, that hurts in an 8-team league because you can't really afford to lose a guy like that because you're too far behind. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely be trying to package Mostert or Etienne or even Monty, any of your running backs. Package one of your running backs. Maybe Monty probably has the most value. If you could package Monty and DJ Moore although he plays tonight, so hopefully he has a good game. Or even Christian Kirk, and get like a stud running back. Maybe get a Tony Pollard, who people are like, he hasn't been that good, or maybe get a Derrick Henry. Because it's going to be hard in an 8-team league with Mostert, Monty, and Etienne as your running backs.
Yeah, I mean, you should get some sort of a stud running back if possible, and then commit a tight end. Even in 8-team, you should be able to do somewhat better than commit.
Yeah, that
so.
too.
All right. Yog Bogdan.
Oh, what's
welcome
up?
back. PPR Dynasty. CMC for Love, Pierce, and Caden Reed.
Oh, we were talking about this today. We're trying to figure out a counter because we need Jordan. Here's the thing: we need Jordan Love. Like, if we don't have Jordan Love, our QBs are Sam Howell and Lamar. I think Lamar. So, like, we can't. Like, I don't want Sam Howell as our only other QB. So we're trying to figure out a counter there.
Look, it's very tempting. This is a super flex, so Jordan Love is important here. So.
Yeah.
It's under consideration. It's under consideration, right? It's not off the table completely.
No, definitely not off the table. Definitely not off the table.
We'll get back to you. Eric Sanchez, Fields or Cousins?
I'll go Cousins. I like Cousins this week. He's got upside. Yeah.
DJ Flowers, Ridley, Jacoby, start 2.
I think you got to start Ridley. Do I like Flowers more than Jacoby? That's where I'm at right now. It's very close.
Yeah, I'm not scared of the Ravens matchup. I think I'm going Flowers this week.
Flowers certainly has the upside. All right, I like Flowers. I put him on the boom. Give me Ridley and Flowers.
Ridley and Flowers it is. Jordan Dumas, Stevenson, London, Sutton, Jameson Williams, Mike Wilson. Who to flex?
I guess I'm still going Stevenson. I just don't love any of these guys this week. Like, if Sutton had a better matchup, like if Sutton had a great matchup, maybe I'd go Sutton, but he's got the Jets, Sauce Gardner. Like, can't feel great about that. Just give me Stevenson. Hopefully he falls in the end zone and catches some passes.
Yeah, it's definitely not the last two for me. I mean, I keep feeling like, I'll go London. Yeah, he could have the week, but then it's just always bitter disappointment. So yeah, just go Stevenson. Lonnie the Great, 12-team PPR flex, Addison or Herbert.
I'm going Addison here. Yeah, I'm not feeling a big Herbert game.
Yeah, same here. Not going with Herbert tonight. It's PPR. Look, Addison could have a good game. We'll see. And then we kind of answered this earlier. Ashley Wild Rose, would you start Trevor Lawrence or Sam Howell?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Give me Trevor.
Going Trevor for sure. Kane Train traded Mixon and Terry for Eckler.
Yeah, big win. Yeah, definitely the thumb up. Big win. Yeah,
that's 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, big win for you. Well done.
And then we set us with another one here, 2 running back, 2 receiver, flex, and a tight end. Laporta, Monty, Bijan, James Cook, Madison, Hill, Gus, DJ Moore. Would you play DJ Moore or look for somebody else?
Well, I doubt there's anybody if you mean on the waiver wire, I doubt even in a 10-team league there's anybody better than DJ Moore on the waiver wire. Look, DJ Moore has been good this year. It doesn't feel like he's been good because the Bears have been so bad and everybody's, they're awful. But DJ Moore's actually been pretty good. So, yeah, I really doubt you have a better option than DJ Moore on waiver wire. So I'm probably going to say DJ Moore.
Yeah, he's definitely startable. So don't worry about that. DJ Moore at receiver is fine. So the question here is the flex. Would you flex James Cook, Madison, or I guess Gus?
James Cook. Give me James Cook. I like James Cook. He's like a workhorse running back in Buffalo, which I didn't expect. So give me James Cook.
Agree. James Cook is fine. Rhino was offered Laporta and Aaron Jones or Mostert for Dobbs and Waller. If you're giving up Dobbs and Waller, then I would say yes, do it.
Yeah, if you're getting Laporta and Aaron Jones and you're giving up Dobbs and Waller, I definitely do that. And I prefer Aaron Jones. Because again, like Mostert, we've seen this before. We've seen it in San Francisco. Like, we know Aaron Jones is going to be the guy in Green Bay for the whole season as long as he's healthy. So I prefer Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I would do this. Take Laporta and Aaron Jones. I think that's a win for you. Then Abimanu, welcome back. Full PPR. Here's a tight end question for you. Dalton Schultz, Dallas Goedert, or Ty Conklin?
Well, I know Goddard's been bad and you don't want to play him, but not for these guys. I'm not sitting Dallas Goedert for these guys. I'm still playing Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, Conklin is not startable. Schultz, no, because he caught a touchdown the other day, but that was like on a trick play where it was who was it who threw the ball? Like Pierce or something? I don't know.
It was
Yeah.
like a fullback or something. I don't even know.
It was like a fullback. But then they have Brevin Jordan scored a touchdown the other day, and like, nah, go Goddard. Goddard's fine. I don't know. I guess this must be true. I've seen this a couple of times, but apparently Dick Butkus.
I did see that. Yes. Rest in peace.
All right, definitely a legend.
Yes.
Joe Schmo, start 2 and flex 1. Pollard, Achane, Robinson, Hall.
Is that Bijan Robinson or Brian Robinson? That really matters. That really matters.
Actually, for me, I don't even know if it matters. I would probably start either one. I mean, you got to start Pollard and Achane. I would start either one over Hall.
Yeah, it's 2 and a flex. Yeah, start the first 3.
Yeah, I'm starting the first 3. That's Kobe's card. Is that a vintage view song monitor behind you?
It looks like it.
It's funny that you say that. I'm not, as you can tell, in my usual background studio at home at the in-laws, and there's some antiques around here. So, look, you roll with what you got. And then AJ Hall, T-Law or Stroud?
I might actually go Stroud here. Maybe I'm too high on Stroud, but T-Law against the Bills. I think Stroud is a little safe. I might just go Stroud here.
You're fine with Stroud. I mean, there's no problem there. I still like T-Law. I think I'm okay with him. I maybe I'm being a little too optimistic with the Jags offense, but I'm gonna give him a shot in London. I think they'll score some points. So I would go T-Law, but you can go either side. It's fine. And then traded DJ Moore and James Cook for Chase.
Yeah, that's good. Especially a 3-1 team. That's great.
I think that's a win. Sir Boomer just dropping in to say what is up.
Good evening.
All right, and then let's go to. But did you die? Ridley or Hollywood?
Yeah, I think I'm still going Ridley here. I know Hollywood has been good, but I think I'm giving Ridley another chance. Because I mean, what's the ceiling? What's the ceiling for Hollywood really? So I'm gonna go Ridley.
Yeah, I don't mind Hollywood, but yeah, I keep saying it. I like Ridley. I think the Jags could score some points this week. Finally, Brown has outscored Ridley every week. Well, I mean maybe, but I'll feel Ridley this week. And then in a different league, Zay Flowers or London.
Definitely Flowers.
Yeah, it's got to be Flowers. He's in a good spot. He's clearly the number one. I don't know if we can even say the Falcons even technically have a number one receiver because they just don't pass. Okay, and then we got. I don't think. Oh yeah, we did. Dan, 2 different leagues. Start Dak or Fields.
I'm going Dak, and then the other league I'm going Stroud. I'm not like completely out on Fields, but I just think when you have those options, I'll just bench them.
Gonna agree. Dak is, I think, kind of a sneaky pick this week, and Stroud. We keep seeing Stroud over Fields. I don't remember. Did we do Bomber Boy?
No, we did not. But I'm going Tua.
Dak or Tua.
Going Tua at home against the Giants. This could be video game Tua. Give me Tua.
Agree. And then see Joel Rodriguez saying the super chat skipped. I didn't see a super chat from you, Joel. So if you want to just throw your comment up anyways, we'll get to it. If we did skip it, apologies, but I don't remember seeing it.
I'll take a look.
Yeah. I kind of looked through and I was trying to find it. While we do that, Raul, also a member, asked before, would love to know now Tua, Demont, Ramondre Hill, Devontae Amon, Jacoby Ingram on the bench. Realistic trade targets. Well, you got Kupp coming back. You got really good receivers.
Yeah, I mean, with Cup coming back, you could potentially package maybe like Jacoby Myers and David Montgomery and try to get like an upgrade at running back. But I mean, like Monty's fine. So, but since you have Cup coming back, you don't really need, like, you're going to have Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Cooper Cup. I mean, you're pretty deep, but you're pretty good at wide receiver there. So maybe try to package Jacoby or even Adam Thielen. People still really love Adam Thielen, man. They still really love Adam Thielen.
Apparently they do. So, I mean, sure, try to trade Thielen before they trade for a receiver if possible. You don't need him. You got somehow a lot of stud receivers. And then Carl, starting DJ at the flex, other options.
Yeah, I'm not starting any of those guys over DJ Moore. No way. No way.
Yeah, he said he meant third receiver. Yeah, no, I wouldn't put any of those guys over him. Dan, in 2 different leagues.
We did that one.
We already did this one. Sorry.
Yep.
Sir Boomer, if Arizona offense was more high powered, they might have pushed the Niners to a shootout. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, they actually did score some points on the Niners. It's not like this defense is invincible. You know what I mean? They shouldn't be scared. Jordan, Henry, thank you. Dotson, Herbert, or London?
Give me Dotson. Give me Dotson. He's got the most upside here in a good matchup.
So hard to trust London.
Yeah.
Look, Dotson, I've been saying the results haven't really come, but he got 9 targets last week. He's been getting targeted. He's got this big play ability. It just hasn't come together. I'm not guaranteeing a big game tonight or anything like that, but it's a great matchup for him. And the target shares there. I mean, it's all in place. So this could be at least a good game. But that and the fact that I don't really want to start the other 2 anyways. Bobby Brook, just saying thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and all you guys definitely much more than you realize. So appreciate you. Cameron Forbes with the super chat, and then the follow-up is right here. Tua or Hurts?
I mean, look, I like Tua this week, but you can't bench Jalen Hurts. You cannot do it. Trade one of those guys. Trade one of those guys.
I mean, there's no matchup because they're going to play the Cowboys twice this year. I'm not going to bench Jalen Hurts because they play the. No, you never don't bench Jalen Hurts. I get Tua against the Giants. Don't bench Jalen Hurts. And then Nico Hollywood or Kirk?
I think I give Kirk the slight edge here.
Yeah, definitely got the upside. Nico, it could be a down week. Not saying it will be, but yeah, I think I feel better about Kirk. And then again, remaining optimistic about the Jaguars offense. And then Jonah John coming back, that 15 teamer, I think. Not that it's a big league, it's just an odd number.
Yeah, because it's usually actually 14 and 16.
It's my normal starters are James Cook and Austin Eckler. Okay, got Keenan, Cooper.
I mean, that's good for a 15 teamer. That's really good.
Well, look, here's the good news: is this week, sure, maybe you take the L and it's rough. You got it all out of the way with. You're going to have those guys the rest of the season, and you don't have to worry about buys and picking up and streaming, which is almost more annoying. So, yeah. That's fine. QB committee, Wilson and Howell. That's fine. And then we got Oracle Zap. I see the super sticker, and then now I see the comment. Half PPR, single quarterback, got Allen and Diggs, Cup, Bijan, Pollard, Ingram. That's a pretty good team. Ayuk is the flex. On the bench, Hall, Ford, Stevenson, Watson, Nico, and Davis. Well, I don't know how deep
this is a stacked team, and I can't change anything here. Like, I mean, I want to get Christian Watson in your lineup, but I'm not taking out any of those wide receivers. So yeah, stacked. This team is stacked.
Yeah, I don't know if this is an 8-team league. I'm thinking it must be, but even then, you're good. The only position you could even possibly upgrade would be tight ends, but I'm not going to trade away like Christian Watson to get a tight end unless it's Travis Kelce or something, which is not going to happen. Your lineup is definitely okay, and your team is definitely okay. It's good. Russ needs a quarterback. Hal, Stafford, or Dak? Or no,
Dak.
I'm
I'm
not even
going
going to say
Dak.
names.
Going Dak. Not Danny Dimes. No. Give me Dak.
Yeah, all are interesting, but I'm going to go Dak too. Don't give up. And it's 6-point touchdown league. Dak can throw some touchdowns. All right, make sure we don't skip anything. Let's go now back to Rhino. Dak or Fields?
This is closer for me. I think in this case, I go Fields because I'm not feeling like a huge Dak game. I'll gamble on Fields here.
Dak or Fields? I think I'm going Dak. Again, you feeling a big game from Fields potentially. You could roll him out, but I would probably stick with Dak. Jason Rodriguez traded Mostert and Kirk for Ayuk.
I mean, I don't hate it. It might be a slight overpay. I like Ayuk more than Kirk rest of the season. And look, Mostert could fall off. So I think long term, it'll probably be good for you.
I think it's fine. Not a huge difference between Kirk and Ayuk. Like I said, I do wonder, people like Ayuk is going nuts, right? Like every catch has been a touchdown or a first down. Okay, huge games. What happens when that one game happens where he doesn't have a big game? It's like, wait a minute, what happened? He's not elite. Like, but
Yeah.
anyways, I like Ayuk. I think it's fine. What do you think of this squad overall? Tua, Diggs, Waddle, Ayuk, Dotson, and then James Cook, Achane, Rashad White, Pierce, and then Waller.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. It should be a contender. If Achane keeps doing what he's doing, it's going to be a strong contender.
Right. Like if he is an RB1 each week, and then Cook is a solid RB2, and White, Pierce are fine. Yeah, I mean Waller is, but I think just the strength of your receivers alone, you got a very solid squad. And then this was RD, I don't know, RD baby. Didn't see a question. I saw your super chat, so let's get to it now. Pick one receiver and one flex. Dobbs, Thomas, Sutton.
Dobbs is the one I feel the best about. I guess Michael Thomas, just because Sutton is in such a bad spot. Like I don't feel like a big Sutton game, so I guess I'm going Dobbs and MT.
Yeah, I think Dobbs I like the best out of this group. Thomas, Carr obviously not 100%. Should be a little bit better, but I don't even know. Like, does Thomas have a ceiling this week?
Never.
I might just go Sutton and hope he gets a touchdown, honestly. But it's tough between those two. Dex one, Dobbs or Purdy?
I'm definitely going Dobbs this week. It's a bad matchup for Purdy. I'll go with Dobbs this week. Most weeks I'd probably say Purdy, but this week Dobbs.
Yeah, I like Dobbs this week. Exactly. This Purdy's going to get some pressure. See how he responds. I'm not out on Purdy completely, but I like Dobbs. I like Dobbs this week. Hits my Terry for Ridley.
I mean, I probably still prefer Ridley. Feels like a pretty lateral move, but probably still prefer Ridley.
Yeah, I like Ridley. He has Puka Flowers, Wilson, Judy, Jamo. Yeah, I'm going Ridley. I'm going Ridley over Terry. Dakota Burks, Brown, Kamara, and White for Chase, Breece, and Pacheco.
Yeah, give me the Chase side. I mean, Chase is just significantly better than everybody else in this trade. And look, Breece might end up being better than Kamara. Pacheco and White are probably semi-close. Yeah, give me the Chase side.
Yeah, the side that's giving up Chase either really wants Kamara or they're really selling low on Chase, which I don't know why. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Chase side for sure. Rookit, we appreciate you. We appreciate viewership. Pick one receiver and one flex. Pittman, Etienne, Waddle. And do you trust Burrow or would you go Russ?
Well, I'm going Pittman and Waddle at wide receiver and flex. And look, do I trust Burrow? No. But I trust him more than Russell Wilson against the Jets. Give me Burrow.
Yeah, I don't want to trust Burrow, but this week is going to be a letdown for us. Let's not forget last week got the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll Burrow out and hope he's a little bit better. No, I don't want to. And then go definitely Waddle and then Pittman. Like Pittman a lot this week. And then Frosif evening. If you have to start 3, you're going with between Kyron, Swift, JT, Ridley, Mixon. This is a big missed opportunity. You totally could have put Taylor by name and then immediately followed it with Swift. But anyways.
Man. I think you got to start Swift. I think you got to start Kyron.
You said you have to. If you said if you got JT, you're starting him.
I know. Go with JT. It could be a big Ridley week. Maybe Ridley over Kyron against the Eagles, but man, it's hard to bench Kyron. I mean, Mixon's the easy bench.
Right. Definitely. I mean, I want to play Ridley, but I know between these. Okay. So you're going. Is it safe to say you're going
Kyron, Swift, JT.
Let's try it again. You're going Kyron, Taylor, Swift.
Okay. Yes.
Kyron, Taylor, Swift. Okay. I'm gonna go actually Kyron, Swift, Ridley because I still have a little bit of trepidation about JT this week, even though it's probably gonna wind up, Okay. But you besides Kyron, you like Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Y'all got that. Twisted one. I traded DJ Moore and Derrick Henry for Tony Pollard and Waddle.
I mean, even in non-PPR, I still prefer Pollard over Henry, and I still prefer Waddle over DJ Moore. So, no, you did not make a mistake. You had a big win here. Big win.
Yeah, if you're getting Pollard and Waddle, that's a win. That's not a mistake at all. All right. Let's see. Senor Royland has a comment here. Start 1 or if JT doesn't play 2. Wow. All right. So who's your one favorite?
I mean, if you only have to start one, give me Spears. He catches passes. He plays third down. He's got some juice. It sounds like Javonte is playing. That's going to kill McLaughlin. Algier is exactly what we said Algier would be, a premium handcuff and nothing more.
Yeah.
Give me
Spears. You can't start Algier.
Give me Spears.
Go Spears. Hope the Tennessee falls behind. And then McLaughlin will be my second choice if you need him. AJ Hall. We need 2. Breece, Kirk, or Watson. Fins up.
If it's PPR, give me Kirk and Watson. If it's non-PPR, give me Breece and Watson. Just because I feel like Watson has more touchdown, big play upside, which is important in standard.
Yeah, I can get behind that. If it's standard, go with a running back who happens to have the great matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's half or full, definitely the 2 receivers. And then back to Oracle Zap, talking about that stacked team. He said, no, it's a 10-teamer, not even an 8-team. That's even better.
Yeah, good team. Very good team. Even for 10 team, it's a good team.
Did you draft with toddlers? Okay. Well, it sounds like he's basically saying he made some smart trades, took advantage of some people. So good job. And then Tom Staker, will Washington defend? I hope so. That's their job. Will Komet do anything?
He could. They should, and he could. Like they should defend, and Komet could do something, but he could also do nothing. He's Cole Komet.
I mean, at this point, if you don't have him in your lineup already, it doesn't matter. He could get a touchdown. I'm not betting on a big Komet game if that's making you feel either better or worse. I think Washington defense will be just fine. I don't see them giving up 28 plus points to Chicago. Ashwin, Hawk, or Kamara?
I don't know. I mean, you got Higbee and Musgrave. I mean, I'm not big on Kamara, but I mean, like Hawk, he's still just a tight end. Like, yeah, he's been good this year. I mean, people go, he's a tight end 1 right now. Like, yeah, because he had that one monster week 2 or whatever. Did Fields just do something? But DJ Moore, 58-yard catch from Fields. I'd probably just hold Kamara here, to be honest.
Interesting, because I know you're, not big on Kamara, and you're saying it was a good time to sell. But I know in the preseason you were not big on Hawk at all, and
Yeah, he's still just a
I
tight
feel,
end. Like, it's.
yeah.
I think you can get
I
more
mean,
than just Hawk.
I think so far what we've seen, I'm coming around. I'm a little more encouraged by Hawkinson being possibly the top 3 tight end at the end of the year, and I think he might give you enough of an advantage at tight end that I think I'd rather have him for Kamara, because you're fine with Cook. So I think I could take the Hawk side. And then Oracle Zap with a sticker. Let's see if it follows up with something else. The game has started, and got NBA Crypto Boy saying we should just stay on for the field drive. We might
Well,
as well.
we kind of had to so far. You know what's going to be funny? Like, what would be really funny, since we're waiting for Oracle Zap, is if Justin Fields was awesome this year, but by throwing the ball. Because everybody was like, well,
doesn't run at all.
It's only his rushing, and then imagine he doesn't run for anything this year, but he starts becoming awesome by throwing the ball.
Yeah, throws for 4,000 yards, like you said.
Yeah, that would be.
That was funny. All right, so what is it? They got the ball. It's a timeout. No, it's a timeout.
It's a timeout, but they're at the Washington 16.
And look at this, Python. DJ Moore pick already hit. There you go. Look, if you're not on Underdog, this is exactly it. Go higher, lower.
There you go. DJ Moore already. What was it? Probably like 50 yards or something like that, right? It was probably like 50
It couldn't have been that high, no.
Yeah.
And then, all right, here Oracle Zap. Just traded again today to make room for Cup. Think I'm going to hold off. All right, that's fine. Got burned by Keenan and AJ Brown week 3. Kind of hold my team for now. Yeah, you got a good enough team. You don't need to shake things up.
All right, well, there you go. Justin Fields sacked, so.
All right, he said it was 50 and a half. The DJ Moore.
It was 50 and a half. I feel like I can predict Underdog lines. They're very you know what I mean? Like, they're very I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They do it so it's enough that it looks enticing, but it's also not going to be a gimme, right? There's never an obvious.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, right? They know it's like Vegas. It's like if you see a bet in Vegas that looks like, what? That can't be right. You probably need to go back and recheck why you think that. If you're like, dude, that's a steal. It's probably not a steal.
And definitely, I will just say this: the touchdowns, don't do the touchdown picks, because they're so fluky sometimes and so hard to predict. And I know it's like they have the boosters now, 1.5 times, 1.75, 2 times. Look, if you put one in with one other pick and you don't bet too much and you hit it, all right, good. You get yourself a nice little boost because you got lucky. But don't make it a regular thing. Go with the things that are more predictable. Yardage is a little bit safer, but yeah.
And if you start at DJ Moore, congrats. He just caught a 20-yard touchdown from Justin Fields.
Just like that. 78 yards and a touchdown, DJ Moore. All right, so we officially said to start him. Anybody who asked DJ Moore, start him.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to get off so you can watch the game and we can watch the game. And we appreciate you, Oracle, with another. Oh, it's a 3-1. All right, very nice. Let's go to 4-1. That's the goal here. DJ Moore, very nice. All right, guys. And we'll give Python the last word. Hit the like button. It is game time. Appreciate you. We'll be back again on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
Saturday for the big show. Start, sit, make all those important decisions before week 5. All right. We'll see you next time.